And good evening, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of Digital Fiasco. It's very special because we missed last week, so it's special that we're back here.
It's extremely special.
It's special to me anyways. I'm sure it's special to you guys out there too, but welcome everyone, chat. My name's Dandr0id, sitting next to me as always.
And I'm Jack McBastard. We're getting an unusual warning on the camera, so I'm going to just go quickly
power off
and address that, because
that's probably a bad warning.
I think we have a loose connection. Oh, I think we lost our camera.
Oh no! Can they still hear us?
They can still hear us.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just super. Okay, well, I guess Jack just needs to unplug it and plug it back in. What did you plug it into?
No, it was I think the cord connected to the adapter.
Okay, but there's no camera. There's no camera, like it's not operating. Yeah. And of course, Janice Marine, as always, first to chime in. Oh no, wait, sorry, Steve was actually the first to chime in today, and it said such a fiasco. There we go. Looks like it's working.
There we go.
Yay! Welcome back. You can see our lovely faces again.
Whoever has Jack Gets Up in their bingo card, it's your lucky day.
And no, sorry, No Beard had to go to the wayside because, of course, we have to get on with the fiasco.
Whoa!
And
thank you for the subscription again.
Oh, well, thank you very much for that.
Oh, my God. See, and unfortunately, it's anonymous, but I'm just going to spoil it.
Okay.
It's Tron.
Oh, all right, well.
Yes.
That's how you spell Tron in his own
language.
Yes,
he is demanding a referendum on the number of passes that Albo gets week to week.
Oh, okay. How about this? You guys out there, you can actually use your Fiasco coins to buy pun passes for Albo. How does that sound?
And thank you very much. That's actually, I got to turn that up as well, but that is Steve.
I was going to say, we normally get our sounds there, but yeah.
People are subscribing anonymously. We want to give you credit.
Yeah.
It is the staves, both staves.
That's part of the awesome part about subscribing and whatnot, is that your name goes right up here between us while we're talking. So.
Yes, and Tron demanded a redacted tithe for his donation, so, unfortunately. All right, 1 second. Let me see if I can fix that.
Okay. I'm sure you just have to turn the volume up or whatever. Okay, well, I'll ask you off camera. How you doing?
Oh, I'm fantastic.
Fantastic? This fiasco's not getting in your way at all?
I mean, no more than usual. How's everyone doing tonight in the chat?
And James Marine brings up that he's leery about spending fiasco coins on Albo's pun passes. He's not... You know what? You get what you pay for. You're paying for puns, people. That's what you're going to get. I mean, using them wisely is...
James Marine is worried that Albo's not going to use his pun pass wisely. I mean, as opposed to every other time he uses them.
That'd be like giving Jack a beer and saying, oh, he's just going to drink it anyways.
True, yes. And completely not sponsored at all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, all right.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good week?
Yeah, since we had... 2 weeks off, or not off, but yeah, we weren't able to make it last Monday night.
Right.
So, yeah, I actually got to do some gaming. So that was, it was horribly depressing, actually. Okay.
Why was it depressing? Did you have what were you playing that was depressing?
You know, we had talked about kind of the issue with the game Rhyme before by Tequila Works.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So.
So you played it?
Yes, because it was a free title with one of the PS Plus.
Oh right.
It was a few months back,
I
believe. But I knew it was this kind of. In my mind, anyways, when I watched the trailers for it, it looked like this kind of Wind Waker-esque kind of little adventure game. It had like the nice cell shading to it and everything.
But with all that pesky combat.
Yeah, without any combat, because it's all it's puzzle, which is fine. I have no problem with 3D puzzlers as long as the puzzles are interesting, which it was. That's the thing, is that I think this game kind of got the short end of the stick because of some of the stuff that was around it, because a lot of the puzzles are very well thought out and they have very interesting mechanics to them. The game looks gorgeous most of the time.
Well, I mean, I know that Tequila Works has the chops after playing the Sexy Brutale.
Yeah, exactly. So
there's just a lot of controversy around this one.
Yeah, and it was really unfortunate because I think that drove some people away.
Right.
Even me included. I was just like, I don't want to bother with it or whatever. But yeah, I was sitting around and I was like, I need something that's not a 60-hour slog and something that's really going to eat all my time right now because I am going to be busy with other projects.
Right.
So I dove into this one, and holy shit, this is something that you have to play. This is it's a very short game.
Okay.
First off, so you could sit down and play it in an afternoon, basically.
All right.
But it's absolutely worth playing.
You're saying it's worthwhile then?
And yeah, because it just has interesting puzzles. It has a great look and feel to it. It's one of those games where you explore the story like as you play through it, but there's no words in it. It's you.
Oh, okay.
You do it through these kind of like little flashback cinematics and through just exploring the island. You find these like little keyholes that look like pictures from a picture book explaining kind of the story as you're going along and whatnot.
Okay.
And it's presented in such a beautiful way. The soundtrack is just fucking amazing. Like it was just one of those ones where you go into it and the whole time you are just engrossed in this whole world and kind of what's going on.
Sure.
And the ending is crushing.
Oh, really?
It is. It absolutely is. I did not expect, because when I started playing this, I was like, I'm like, oh, it's a Wind Waker-esque kind of thing. I'll just be hopping around the island solving puzzles. It'll all be fun. No. Fuck no. The ending fucking destroyed me, which rarely happens, especially for a game that only was only like I think it was about 3, maybe 4 hours long or something like that.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah, but our camera's saying auto power off again. What is the camera doing?
Hang on.
Does it have like weird settings on it or something like that? Or is it just being stupid?
It is.
Okay, well there we go. Either that or it just doesn't like that where it's plugged into over there.
It seems unlikely.
Is it plugged into a power bar?
It is actually plugged in.
No, but isn't it a power bar or is it in the wall?
Same as it is every other time. Okay.
Okay, you good? Or you have unplugged it and plugged it back in?
I think I've worked out the technical issue.
Okay. Did you plug it into the wrong slot?
We're just gonna keep moving on.
Okay, all right. Jack officially plugged it into the wrong slot, but it's okay because it's all good now. And so Rime on the PS4. I think you can also play it on Steam. I don't know if it's on Xbox, but absolutely worth checking out. It wouldn't be like obviously not a fucking $60 game or whatever, but if it's gonna be one of those ones that's on sale for like fucking $8 or $10 or something like that.
Sure.
And you want a deeply like emotional story.
Assuming you missed it on PS Plus.
Or if you had missed it on PS Plus, because some people they just do all their gaming through Steam or something.
Or
absolutely
Xbox.
Worth playing. It's really unfortunate that it kind of flew under the radar because of the other controversy. But yes, definitely go out and check it out.
Interesting.
It's very, very well done.
So Rime by Tequila Works.
Yep.
If you like games that will destroy you.
Well, it's some people like emotion in their movies, some people like emotion in their games, because it's something you rarely see. Even with big budget ones that we both love, something like I was going to say Horizon Zero Dawn, but that one almost made me cry at the end too.
that was pretty grim.
But no, there's a lot of big budget stuff out there where they try to give you that orchestral music. They try to give you that deep storyline of people's family or stuff they've gone through, and they're trying to tug at those heartstrings, and it just never quite connects. Whereas this one, in the short, I think about 3 hours that I played it, it was just the ending was just destroyed me. So
interesting.
Yeah.
All
totally
right.
worth playing.
I'll definitely put that on the list of backlogged games that I will.
Well, like I
play.
said, it's a small piece of a game, so you can go at it and you're done with it in one day.
Okay.
And you won't want to go back to it for a few years. So
before we move on, Tron for his I believe it's a full year now that he is subscribed.
Holy shit! He's hardcore.
Yeah, I think he's demanded a physical picture of the light bulb that he has paid to keep on.
Oh,
so we have to mail that to him.
I was gonna say I could take one with my phone and we could email it to him right now.
Yeah, we have to make sure to get the appropriately dusty swinging light bulb and over the table, with just one. The metal folding chair.
I was going to say the gross investigation room.
Exactly.
Okay. So 2 weeks.
Physical only, he
What
says.
have you been playing?
Here's the thing. I've been going through the Assassin's Creed.
Right, yes.
The whole IP, basically.
Yeah, which does take a while because they're not small games, and there's a lot of them at this point.
Right. So it's like, aside from the first one, which I had played twice already, so I started with the Ezio Remastered Trilogy.
Right.
And I went on from there through all of them, except for Liberation on the Vita, which that one just irritated me.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it doesn't play great.
The dress switching mechanic is interesting, but the fact you keep having to go all the way back and then how it limits your movements.
They could have thought it out a little better, I think.
Anyway, so I got all the way up through Syndicate. And after Syndicate, I took a break, and I went and I started playing No Man's Sky for the next update. And I was playing that for a while, and I got to the center of the galaxy, and got all of my last trophies.
Now this was on your hardcore one, right?
Correct.
This is the
permadeath
Yeah.
one. Yes, so I'm done with permadeath.
Yeah, I don't blame you one bit.
So I thought, okay, great. I'm done with No Man's Sky for a while, and I started playing Origins again.
Okay.
Playing the New Game Plus mode, right? So that's kind of neat.
You had not played that. You only finished it the initial time, and then just kind of...
Right.
That's
So,
when you kicked back to the other ones?
No, I mean, I got the Platinum for it, but there was, like, the other DLC for it I hadn't played, and now they have the New Game Plus.
Right.
So I'm playing the whole game again in New Game Plus mode, and I'll go through all the DLC on my hard mode. So everything is, like... level 40 and above, and they've raised the level cap and stuff. So anyway, so I was playing that for a couple hours, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I've gotten all the trophies in No Man's Sky, but I really have the itch to keep playing and just to start it again.
Yeah.
Because apparently a bunch of this stuff, if you continue on a save game, a bunch of this stuff you don't get.
Yeah. Because they've had to retool and fix things, and so it screws up some other stuff. And
there's been like 5 updates to that update in the past 2 weeks. It's ridiculous how many bugs and issues and features they've added just in 2 weeks' time. So I started a brand new game on normal.
Okay.
Not permadeath.
And there was normal, or is that creative mode, or is that like a whole other kind of thing?
Creative mode, you don't have any money, you don't have any, you can't get damage.
It's sandbox edition, basically.
And I mean, why fucking bother playing a survival game where there is no consequences?
Oh, I mean, I would enjoy it, but that's just because I'm a creative, and I would just go in and use all the base parts and all the stuff, and I would go nuts with that.
Half of the enjoyment of a survival game is learning what components you need to make certain base pieces and devices and technologies.
Yeah.
And the exploration that drives finding those components, like putting them together.
And to stay off the death planet.
Right.
With that giant glowing-eyed bug thing that you showed me that was just horrible.
A little freaky. So yeah, I've been posting those out to Twitter. Oh, hey, Captain Quench.
Hey, Captain Quench.
How you doing?
Was that 3 seconds? I think that was 3 seconds.
Is he making us a GIF?
I hope so. There we go. I hope that was long enough for his GIF.
Him.
All right.
Yes. So,
welcome to the chat.
Yes, indeed. Captain Quench. Haven't seen you in a while. And for that matter, having both staves. Like, we've been lopsided stave-wise for several weeks now.
Exactly.
So, welcome back, Steve. So anyway, No Man's Sky next. With all the updates, all of the freighters and the freighter missions, or the frigate missions attached to the freighter, the new base parts, the new mechanics, the new refining and everything, they've really breathed a lot of life back into this game. And I've been playing it now for an extra week with no trophies of any kind awarded to me. And
there you go. There's the sign of a weird game. If Jack's gonna play it and there's no trophies in sight, and he's still playing it,
I'm not a trophy whore anymore, but I like the feeling of progression. At this point, when the game is done, the fact that I'm still going and playing it again, that says a lot for
absolutely.
how much you enjoy the game.
And like we had kind of talked about before too, is that this game feels like it's finally at that position where this should have been kind of the 1.0 like release version of it, because it really feels like it's complete now. Like it has everything that they've wanted with some extras along the way, because you have your base building, you have your vehicles, you have multiplayer, you have the smarter planets and how they generate, and the the ships and stuff like that. So I think about the only thing that it's really missing at this point is like an arena for like space fighter combat. I think that's about all it's missing at this point.
Well, I mean, technically you have true multiplayer, so realistically it's not an organized arena.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. Like go someplace where it's just like everyone builds out their little fighters and stuff like that, and they can fly to a section of space and it loads you into a lobby where you can just like duel a bunch of people or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
because again, it's not really my thing, but I know a lot of people out there obviously love their multiplayer death matches and whatnot. So I think that would be a huge addition to it.
Last thing I need is fuckers jumping my big bulk hauler as it's trying to carry,
I'm not talking like Dark Souls style, like Red Demon invading your game and shit, because I would not be down for that, especially in a permadeath version of the game.
I'm holding out for my Star Destroyer freighter. That's not what I'm working towards.
You want a Battlestar Galactica, basically.
Yeah, or the schlock mercenary, they call them battle plates, and they're all named after like cataclysmic events like Tunguska and things like that. So yeah. All right.
Hey,
so
and Jay Tanuki, welcome to the chat. And Captain Quench, we just started the show a little bit ago. We're just catching up on what we did over the past 2 weeks, what games we've been playing, and then we'll get to the news shortly.
Yes. So in fact, this is Digital Fiasco, episode 35 of Digital Fiasco Live, where we talk about all the latest news in PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and PC gaming. And to kick us off, as always, we have the venerable Discs Digital and DLC.
Really?
Triple D.
All right, you're going to fuck with my Triple D.
Yes, I am. Tell us, Dan, what do we have for the highlights for the Triple D this week?
Let's see here. Where's my... I got too many friggin' tabs open here. Okay, so first up on the Triple D this week, we have one that I've been following, just like Chasm from 2 weeks ago that I talked about. Death's Gambit is another kind of pixel 2D platformer that I've been following for a while. Not 5 years long, not that long, but... Still, it's one that looked really, really interesting because this was kind of more of a 2D Dark Souls type of adventure, which was severely lacking because a lot of games go out there and say they're like a Souls-esque game.
Right.
But every single one of them tries to copy Dark Souls, even in its 3D environment and its kind of drabness and everything like that. This one feels a little more like if you took Dark Souls and crammed it into like Symphony of the Night or something like that. It's a little more colorful, a little more lively, but it is 2D pixel animation, 2D platformer with some RPG kind of upgrades and weapon upgrades and stuff. But yeah, it has that kind of one-on-one really crazy combat where it's just like one false move and you could be fucking dead.
Right.
And then you get like sent back or whatever. So yeah, Death's Gambit, that one's coming out PS4, Steam, and Xbox, I believe. And let's see, what was the next one on my list here? Where did it go? Oh, yes. And this one actually just popped up today. The trailer for it just popped up today, and color me interested. It's called State of Mind.
Yes.
And this one, as soon as I saw it, it instantly reminded me of, like, if somebody that used to play, not Lost Planet, Out of This World, and that kind of, those very low poly, like 2D kind of adventure story-esque games.
Sure.
It's like a full 3D cyberpunk version of one of those because you're walking around, you're investigating stuff. I think you're like reading people's minds because it's about the singularity of like man and machine and stuff like that. So the graphics, if you like kind of that low poly, high color style,
sure,
and you love a deep story and you love cyberpunk aesthetics like I do, yeah, I'm all in on this one. It looks absolutely amazing. You should definitely check the trailer out for that one.
There are no loot boxes in No Man's Sky. No.
Which is good on them for that because they easily could have gone that route for different types of minerals and ships and all that shit. Yeah. Especially after kind of the rough, crazy start that they had and whatnot.
Indeed.
And of course, a big one for a lot of people. Again, this was not that big a one for me, but The Walking Dead Telltale series, the final chapter.
See, I was a really big fan of the first two seasons. I haven't actually got into the third season. I think this is the fourth season now.
I think it's the fourth and final. I think I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
I mean, spoiler alert, Clementine survives chapter 3.
She's on the poster, so I would think so.
Fucking spoiled. Table flip. Yeah. But yeah, I was a big fan of the first two seasons, and God, poor Kenny. I really hope he's in the third one, but yeah.
And yeah, and I know that this is just a huge series. Like this is, I think, Telltale's biggest series. It's their biggest in length and also in just fandom.
It's the one that really put them on the map.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so look forward to that one coming out also. And then you said you had a couple on your list there too, right?
Kill Destroy says he stopped playing the World of Warcraft expansion for this. Entertain me.
Hey man, we're just doing our thing. So
are you not entertained?
I'm just gonna put it right out there and say that I'm better than World of Warcraft. So
I'm better than World of Warcraft, and so's my wife. But there's a couple other ones, some big ones actually that came out of nowhere for me. Mm-hmm. Well, I won't say big ones for this one, because Guns, Gore, and Cannoli 2 is just kind of interesting. It's
I saw that one go by, and I was like,
It's a side-scrolling, platforming
Like, I feel like I had seen the first one, I just didn't really remember it, so I didn't know if it was good or not.
It's kind of one of those things. It's interesting. It looks like it stars Quagmire, though.
Quagmire with a goatee, basically. Right? Yeah.
Because that's the guy's name. I think it's Vince Cannoli is the guy's name. Like you can get a super racist name. Giggity.
Hey, TK Star, welcome to the chat. I love the emotes.
That's great emotes. Yeah, some little emote sponsorship. Okay, but here's one actually that came out of nowhere for me. It's called Phantom Doctrine.
Okay.
Okay? And I look at this and I go, oh, this looks super generic. And then I looked it up.
Yeah, sometimes the cover art really can make or break these type of things.
So 2 things.
Yep.
It is from the people who made Hard West.
Oh, okay.
So
which was a huge one for you.
Very big game. It is a tactical strategy game set in the 80s during the Cold War. It is spy tactical, like a spy tactics game.
You have my attention.
Really? Right? And that's going to be on the PS4.
That sounds
tomorrow.
awesome. So,
right. So the makers of Hard West. So we know the pedigree is there.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's a good story, great mechanics, but set in the 80s during the Cold War, like KGB and CIA, like
Now,
shit.
did you look into this game any further? Do you feel like
I watched
maybe
a bit of the video. It
they
looks
kind
really
of
cool.
like reskinned Hard West and just gave it
No,
a
no,
different
no,
flavor, or
it's-
is this like a whole new game?
It is. It's a whole new game. Like it's from the ground up redone, and it looks really good.
Okay, that seems way
Yes.
more interesting than this this picture showing off here.
Yes.
So-
So I saw it as like a woman with a sniper rifle, I think is the picture.
yeah,
so-
no, that's it. That's
Right,
it's
there you
just
go.
this kind of blue tone thing. The chick holding a sniper
Right.
rifle, really drab looking colors, and it really doesn't catch the eye.
Because when I first saw the picture, the thing that came to mind was it looks like a slightly more modern version of The Order, right? Just
Yeah,
from the,
yeah, a little
the
bit.
coat and whatnot.
Yeah.
So when I went and looked into the actual game itself, I'm like, first of all, it's from the makers of Hard West, and I'm like,
Oh yes.
you could hear the erection hitting the underside of the table, right? So, yeah. So check that out tomorrow.
Very cool. That makes me much more
Yep.
excited for that.
Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes comes out for the Switch on the 16th and for
Nice.
Xbox on the 17th.
That's good. Everyone needs a
Right.
copy of that game because it is just a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. I think it's better with VR, but it's still entertaining.
It is
otherwise.
nice to have that physical kind
Right.
of that physicality in the game and whatnot, but it really does work on any level that you
Right.
want to play it on.
Yeah, and definitely will lend itself to recriminations and shouting. All right, we have some anti-releases.
Okay, throw them at me.
So, Neo, recently on Koei Tecmo's official Twitter page, they have
Okay.
doused anyone who had hopes that this game was coming to Xbox One. They have, they're basically on no plans watch.
Okay, yeah.
So don't expect that game anytime soon for Xbox. I don't think Koei Tecmo really has a huge presence on Xbox outside of like
I was gonna say because that was a good
Dynasty Warriors and whatnot.
that was a good game for them.
Yeah.
Like it sold very well, had
You
great
wanna talk about
reception.
Souls-esque, right?
But yeah, very sold. Like this is one I still have to get my hands on. But yeah, it is literally like Dark Souls with samurais, and I'm
Yes.
like, why have I not played this yet?
It is excellent.
because I have a
It is
backlog.
excellent.
But yeah, I'm really shocked. I guess it does come down to maybe them just not having a great foothold on the Xbox platform.
Pretty sure that comes in the list a little higher than Rhyme
Yeah.
on my backlog. And if you were planning on playing Steep on the Switch, sorry, it's canceled.
I don't think I planned on playing it anyways.
Yep. So
Not to say I wouldn't play it, but I mean it's not something I definitely am going to go out of my way to
I mean,
play. And yeah, I think that one, just from seeing, it's a very gorgeous game, and I don't think the Switch would have been up to snuff of handling that.
No, playing in the beta, like it had a lot of sort of the cool Borders vibes that I
Right.
really, or the SSX vibes that I really enjoyed. But like the open world thing was kind of neat. It's not really my thing, but if you're into snowboarding,
You know what would have made that game like just ring so much better for a lot of people?
microtransactions
No, because I think it has that
It
already.
does. And loot boxes.
If they, I know that they were trying to put forward this kind of arcade / sim feel to it.
Sure.
But if they had kind of taken the snowboarding aspect, and you can also have your like squirrel wingsuit thing to glide down the side of the hill,
Which are just a goddamn death trap.
if they mixed in a grappling hook with that,
Oh,
and
Jesus.
went kind of Just Cause
Basically
direction,
Just
where you could
Cause.
like keep snowboarding and you could go over ravines and stuff like that,
Yeah.
all in the same run, I think that would have upped the ante on that a little bit more.
Maybe. I mean, it's an entertaining game.
Yeah. Main kill says Battle Royale.
Oh my god, Battle Royale.
Now,
Steep?
okay, is that like you're snowboarding down and you're like punching other people like Road Rash, or is it like you all get to the bottom, you go into Royal Rumble?
I can see it now. Like you're all on flat terrain with your snowboards. You're just hopping.
Yeah, you're just hopping after the people. It's like, I'll get you.
He just goes over flat.
I thought you meant like you were just gonna unbuckle your snowboard at the bottom and hit people with it.
That would be pretty awesome. All right, and of course, last week PlayStation Plus dropped for those of you who have not yet.
That's
checked
right.
it
I was
out.
gonna ask if I
Yes.
couldn't remember if we had those ones or not at that
that was
point.
last
so.
week. Mafia 3 for PS4 is now a PS Plus title, so everyone out there should play this game. It does get a little repetitive towards the end, but for the plot itself, especially the cinematics, like they went over and above on the cinematics on this game. Like, such
everything
a
I saw, like when this had its E3 like launch trailers, everything I saw looked absolutely gorgeous in this game.
It's a lot of fun. Dead by Daylight as well for PS4. For the PS3, Bound by Flame and Serious Sam 3 BFE, which is, I think, big fucking edition.
I think that's what's that one?
Yeah, it's like their special edition. Draw Slasher for PS Vita and Space Hulk for PS Vita. Ooh. Unfortunately, the Space Hulk is not crossplay, so it is just the Vita version. So I can play it on my Vita, but the
they really missed out on that because you could sit on the couch with someone else playing and then enjoy like a living room game like that, but you don't have to share the same screen then. But
Space Hulk was kind of a it was kind of a I wouldn't say overpriced, but it came in a little bit at a higher price point than I was expecting.
Well, especially because it's literally just the board game and digital version, right?
Yeah, but I mean that version for the PC, and then about a year later it came for PS4. So it's a good game, but yeah, I think for the price point they put it at.
There you go. You'll be proud of Jay Tanuki. She's on her way to her first platinum trophy.
Oh, in which game?
On my account.
It's got to be something.
But yeah, Jay Tanuki, what game are you playing then? Probably Kingdom Hearts, I'm going to guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Myth that there's no fast travel in Mafia 3. I mean, there is to a certain extent. You have to unlock certain areas.
Oh, like bases or something, and you can like warp to them?
Right, exactly. But it doesn't happen immediately in the game. But it's a great game. I really like it. Plus, I mean, I really like the soundtrack in it is amazing.
Oh, she's playing, the Nonary game. Yeah.
So 9 people, 9 something,
9
doors.
rooms, 9 doors or something like that.
And then Zero Escape.
Yeah.
And then the third one, I don't remember what the third one is.
Yeah, because she had played them way back on the DS, but only the 2 of them, because I think the other one was on the Vita or something, or the 3DS or something like that. And they had them on sale a while ago on PlayStation Network, so it was just the 3-pack, and it was like $15, and I was like, fucking yes.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about those. I just need to go back and do them.
Yo, Ichigo, welcome to the chat.
Hey, Ichigo, how you doing? Mind you, I mean, it has a distinct lack of pigeons to date. So
I think a lot of games actually fall into that now.
Unfortunately. All right, so let's get to the news.
All right.
Okay, so Sumo Digital. They're kind of slow.
A little bit.
I'm just saying. So GamesIndustry.com sat down with Sumo Digital recently to interview them about the progress with the long-awaited and much-delayed Crackdown 3.
Right.
And their managing director, Paul Porter, had a couple of interesting things to say about their philosophy.
Did he speak faster than 5 words a minute?
He did not. I have a car. You don't know. He says, at the end of the day, we're working on huge AAA games that will be shown to people when the publisher is ready, because it's not up to Sumo when we could show or demonstrate part of the game that's being made. As a consumer, you don't care how long something's taken to make or what the journey was. You care that it's a good game. And the most important thing for me is we get to work on good games and put titles out that we're proud of and we want to play ourselves. So let me just say, as a consumer, I think it matters to me how long they take.
Well, that's,
a little. That's part of it.
That's the whole thing, because we've kind of talked a bit about this, and there's the old adage of, like,
Shigeru Miyamoto.
Well, yeah, like a bad game is bad forever, but a late game...
A delayed game is eventually good.
Yeah, that kind of...
game is bad forever.
Yeah, like however it was worded. That, like, I love that concept. That is very much a true concept, because, even with updates and stuff now available with, like, having an online community and whatnot.
Right.
Sometimes you just can't patch or update a game into it being good. You can't patch those stars or those extra ranks into it just to make it that much better.
No matter how many times they patch Final Fantasy 15.
I knew you were going to talk about that.
The plot is still fucked.
And prime example, Duke Nukem Forever. You can't make that game better by updating it. So, yes, take your time, make a good game, but the whole point is that you still have a time limit, though.
Zootopia.
You still need to take some care and worry about not only the quality of your game, but when it's gonna fucking come out. Especially,
it's a balance.
There's a fine balance there, and it's one of those things. Like, if you're gonna tote a game for the next 5 years and keep teasing the public with it, and just keep developing it, it's like, well, why did you fucking tell us about it in the first place? Star Citizen is in a fucking class of its own at this point. It really is.
So, so they're working on right now Crackdown 3, of course, February 22nd of next year. They've actually dated it now.
Okay, that's good. At least we have that.
A lot of people have forgotten that they're actually working on Dead Island 2 as well. Now that Techland went off and did their own thing with Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment. They're doing, of course, Dying Light now, which is better than Dead Island. But
everyone knows that.
so much better. Like, I don't even know why they're bothering to make a Dead Island 2.
Maybe they're just gonna go in and see everything that Dying Light did, and they're just gonna steal it all and put it in Dead Island.
Deep Silver owns like all the IPs, so they may as well.
Yeah,
you know. Speaking of which, Deep Silver, where the fuck is my next Saints Row game? Spyro. Of course, yes. Activision is releasing the Spyro Reignited trilogy.
Yep.
That's going to be September the 21st of this year. It's featuring the first 3 games of the trilogy. The original 3, they're PS1 games.
Yes.
The original 3.
They're all PS1 games.
So, strangely enough, people have been noticing that on the box art for the game, there's a big banner at the bottom where it says, requires a mandatory download.
Yes.
So, apparently, only the first game is actually on the disc, and the other 2 you have to download.
Interesting. What did they state why that is?
I mean, I can't imagine that they are big enough that they can't fit on a Blu-ray.
Oh God, no!
Right?
With a full remaster from they put all 3 of the original Crash games with beyond legroom to spare on that fucking thing. So
they fit all 3 Uncharted. Like
Uncharted exactly. Those games will be way fucking bigger than a remastered Spyro game. So
no matter how many bells and whistles they're putting in it.
Yeah.
So I don't know specifically the reason. They didn't answer for comment why this is happening. But yeah, if you have if you don't have internet, like if you're one of those people, or you're in a bad internet place, not naming any Tron, but the fact that you have to download 2 of the games, and I don't know the size of it yet, that hasn't been announced, but that's literally 2/3 of the game you have to download.
Well, here's what I think, though, is that I think those other games, they're going to be, like, fairly small, probably within the fucking, 3 to 4 gig range.
Well, I don't know.
And you're going to download those while you're playing the first game. Right. I don't know. That's probably the concept that they have going in. It's that catch-22 of, like, everyone's got fucking internet. Well, technically, no.
Yeah, tell that to Don Mattress.
And especially if you have a PS4, you have like PS Plus or all that kind of stuff like that, you're probably gonna have some kind of internet connection, and it's really unfortunate because some people are gonna suffer from that because they'll have a very slow connection, especially if you're out in the middle of the country or whatnot.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that they've chosen to do that rather than if they wanted anti-piracy or some kind of other reason like that, they should have just had maybe blocks of the game missing that you had to download and make it kilobytes instead of gigs.
Who's to say? But
because then you could get it no problem.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we saw, like, most people these days have internet access to reasonably broadband internet.
It's something enough to download a sizable file.
But the backlash from 2013 when the Xbox One was going to be always online shows that not everyone wants to be in that position.
Well, and I mean, here's kind of the trick of that one too, is that was just asinine because that's always online. It's always checking. It's always doing something. With this one, it's only going to happen when you log into the game. You choose when it happens. You can turn your internet on and off. Like
you want to talk about asinine, though, is the way they justified it. So here's the quote.
Okay.
As with most games today, downloading an update after purchase is quite common. The language on packaging and on the web is to let players know the requirements for Spyro Reignited Trilogy. So they're trying to pass it off like, oh, patching happens all the time. Problem is that they're patching in 2/3 of what you've bought.
Yeah.
So that's weird.
It is very strange.
What if you wanted to play the 3rd game immediately? Oh, you've got a disc, but sorry, download it, you fuck.
It's a very
It's weird.
And of course, they're probably never going to acknowledge why they did it that way.
I mean, unless they had manufactured the discs ahead of time before they were already done QA on the last 2, but that seems weird.
Yeah, that's like saying a game's gone gold. Oh, but it hasn't actually. Only 1/3 of it has.
It's more like gone bronze. I mean,
yeah, there we go.
I don't even understand that. All right, so here's something that's interesting for you and I for 2 different reasons. Steamforged Games announced last week they're working with Sony Interactive Entertainment Europe and Guerrilla Games to develop a board game tie-in for Horizon Zero Dawn.
Interesting. So,
yes.
Is this going to be like a story-based thing?
I imagine it's going to be like a tactical dungeon crawl kind of thing. I mean, it's possible. I've seen some of the mock-ups for the miniatures. They look amazing. And these are the same people that did the Resident Evil board game and the Dark Souls board game.
I only have one question.
Yes.
How big is the Thunder Jaw?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is it like this
I don't know.
fucking big?
I don't know. Well, I mean, judging by the size, like they showed a good picture of the Ravager, and it looked like it was about that big. But
it would be like a 2-square model. Right. So the fucking Thunder Jaw is going to be like a 6-square model.
Yeah. But I mean, they don't give you anything for frame of reference. So they show you 2 miniatures and they look great.
We need a banana for scale on those.
That's a weird thing to use for scale.
That's the internet, man. That's
typically it's a quarter or something.
That's like that goes way back on Reddit.
Okay.
And I'm sure on 4chan and all that other shit like that. So
banana
it's always been that's always the joke. It's banana for scale.
Okay. Anyway. So you can go to their website and check out the amazing miniature mock-ups they have. They have a picture of I don't remember. I don't know if it was a specific character or just it was one of the races, like one of the Nora.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then they had the Ravager, and it looked like super detailed. It looks like it's going to be a big miniature game, ripe for painting.
And Tron wants to know if it's available for pre-order.
I don't know. I think it is actually. I think it's going to be. They're launching a Kickstarter for it soon.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be available for pre-order.
I could see that. A lot of those like video game to board game translations have gone to Kickstarter. So I'm not very surprised by that.
Yeah. But I mean, just the fact that they did the Resident Evil one, the Dark Souls one, they've got a pedigree behind them.
Yeah.
I would really like to see the rules, but even if the rules are shit, just to have those miniatures would be awesome.
I'm sure they have kind of like that black book of a set thing of rules, and then they add in the accentures here and there to make it Horizon Zero Dawn instead of Resident Evil or whatever.
Plug the miniatures into like a Starfinder campaign and play it like D&D.
It's all good.
A D&D Horizon Zero Dawn, that would be pretty amazing. So, I mean, worst case scenario, just buy a bunch of miniatures. So that's going to be launching on Kickstarter soon. I don't have a specific date. They didn't give it to us, but I am definitely going to be
waiting in digital line for that.
Yeah, it's going to be another big box fucking miniature game that's going to go in the war room with all the other ones. Oh, my God. All right, so Nintendo of America, they announced last week Nintendo Switch Online will be launching late September, so the second half of September. It's going to be providing access to online play, cloud data backup, which I'm still amazed that people don't have yet.
It's like, how did it take this fucking long,
Nintendo? And selected NES games free with added online play. So they're going to be adding in, I guess, whatever games they have for the NES that used to have like local co-op or local online.
Like a
local
Donkey Kong Country or something like that.
Yeah, so those will be probably just multiplayer through the internet when before you were like side by side.
Yeah.
So,
Ruru uses Nintendo don't internet.
Nintendo don't.
They're trying. They're trying to internet.
Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
Just old man Nintendo in his rocking chair, shaking his fist everywhere. You damn kids and your internet.
I just want to go back and play Mario Paint and make music.
I remember when I could save a game on my game.
Yeah. Save a game on your game, luxury. Back in my day, we had to write down passwords. They were 50 characters long, had upper and lower case, and symbols and numbers, and the numbers all looked the same. Was it a 0? Was it a no? Fuck you, you don't know.
Oh, stop, I'm having non-flashbacks right now. Jesus Christ.
Like, all the way back to the Sega
No, I remember
Master
some of those, I'm going to throw it out here, they were egregious.
And
no, I do remember though some of those things.
38 minutes in the pool.
They were fucking like you could get like 25 characters long, and it was every symbol on the fucking keyboard. And it was like, why?
Yeah.
Are you worried someone's gonna break into level 3? Like
it was when Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap came back out, and you could use your original passcodes. I actually went back.
Oh,
and
really?
typed them in. Yeah,
that's awesome.
As a kid, I had written them on the back of the manual, so I had them from like 30 goddamn years ago, and they
and Ruru too. Yeah, like the original Mega Man passwords.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
with the dots.
Yeah,
that was pretty awesome. Yeah, back when the original Mega Man passwords. You mean Mega Man 2 and its passwords? Because the original Mega Man didn't have fucking passwords.
That was hardcore.
Oh. Anyway, the announcement I think is possibly to distract you from their earnings announcement, which happened at the end of July. Turns out that while Nintendo's profits are up, sales on the Switch and the attach rates, not so great. Starting to drift off a bit.
Yeah, I mean it's they've been it for what a year and a half now.
Yeah, they've definitely made it over the hump, but I think they still have kind of a uncertain future ahead of them.
I don't know. I know everyone that has a Switch so far is absolutely loving the system.
I mean, I like it.
I see them. I
Ish.
see people playing them in public, so people
Yeah.
are fucking buying them. People are playing games, and I'm on Reddit like all the time, and
Right.
the indie game subreddit and the Nintendo subreddit, there's always somebody talking about a new game that's coming out or
Yeah.
a game they're currently playing or something
All
like that.
the dregs from PSN that sluiced their way onto the fucking Nintendo store. But here's the thing. Bloomberg actually reported at the end of last month, hedge fund Melvin Capital Management even went as far as to short Nintendo in their hedge fund to the tune of $400 million worth of shares. So they're banking heavily that Nintendo's share prices are going to drop. Because before E3, they dropped something like 16%. So they're in a pretty big slump.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say. That Nintendo really hasn't gotten the momentum behind them yet. They're kind of in the same place as Vita, except without as much first-party Nintendo software behind it. I'm
Yeah,
worried.
but they also have people looking to the future of that, whereas the Vita was always just kind of floating around waiting for games to show up. Nintendo, you're going to get that stuff.
Right.
You just don't.
Because all the Nintendos.
Because it's fucking Nintendo, and
Nintendo
they're
be
gonna
Nintendoing.
they're gonna wring every single penny they can.
Splatoon 2!
And yeah, and Ruru 2, yeah, I mean, they're not going to catch PS4, but
No.
nobody thinks they were going to. I mean, Nintendo, we've talked about before many, many times. Nintendo is, that guy in the corner doing his own thing. Like he's
Eating paste.
Yeah, like they're outselling, they're selling their systems. They have cardboard will never save Nintendo.
No.
But they've always gone, like, since the Nintendo Wii, they've always done their own thing.
Right.
And
Well, they're the good secondary console.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And the ability to
And again,
take them on the go.
that is the big factor for
a
them,
big
because
gimmick.
if you own an Xbox or you own a PlayStation or
Right.
you own a PC, if you have the money, you're going to own a Switch, because you
Yeah.
can get some of those games, you can pick them up, and you take them all with you. Every
Right.
single thing is playable on that system. You don't have to worry about, like, oh, I unplugged it from my dock, I can't play Zelda or whatever. Like, so you can take them on the go anywhere.
But all us old dudes playing murder porn on our adult consoles or buying Switches for our kids.
Hey, there is some stuff to play on the Switch now. It's not like when it launched and it was like, oh, there's Zelda. But I mean, again, that's like a launch window for a lot of
Right.
consoles too. It's like, oh,
Right.
you have your choice of this game or this game.
Oh, don't forget 1-2 Switch.
Yes.
As we saw last year.
I'll
in our
never forget 1-2 Switch.
12-hour stream.
You acting like a gorilla is burned into my fucking memory now.
That almost made it worthwhile. Almost worthwhile.
I was worried you were gonna smack your TV with your fucking controller, and then just go totally fucking ape on it and just start bashing it with the
Oh, man. That was such a waste of $60, let me tell you. All right. So, Germany.
Yes. What about Germany?
For years.
No segue, just
No,
Germany.
Germany. So speaking of segues,
Yeah.
Germany, for years, any games historically set in like World War II, it was against the Constitution of Germany. You could not display any Nazi imagery whatsoever.
Okay.
So that was things like Call of Duty, any kind of Medal of Honor game.
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein was a big one, right?
Yeah.
Like specifically
Swastikas everywhere. in that
every
game.
fucking
Yeah.
where. So if you see the German version of that, swastikas are usually replaced by
They have
I
like
think-
an alternate logo or something.
I think it's
or-
like the Wolfenstein logo. It's like it looks like the,
Oh, it has like the Iron Eagle with
yeah.
the. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it replaces with, or with a slightly like a swastika variant, swastika light, whatever it is.
Plus symbol.
Something like that.
No, it's the Addition Army.
Yeah, I mean, if you go out and you look, so this has been going on literally for like 30-something years. So while you can see them in movies, for whatever reason, in video games.
Oh,
for
so
the
it's
longest
only
time.
video games.
Yeah,
Probably it's that whole factor, that mindset of, oh, kids are playing this.
Probably.
Kids aren't watching movies about,
Right.
war and Nazis and stuff like that.
So after pressure from the German Game Industry Association, the German government has decided now to allow certain Nazi imagery in games they'll evaluate it on a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
So things like Wolfenstein or Call of Duty, where it's historically, I mean, I hesitate for Wolfenstein to historically, but, at least, relevant to...
Wait, Hitler actually lived on Mars?
Right?
I didn't
Venus.
know that.
Venus.
Oh, sorry, Venus.
So, yeah, it's on a case-by-case basis. So, The quote from the German's Game Industry Association says, "This new decision is an important step for games in Germany. We've long campaigned for games to finally be permitted to play an equal role in social discourse without exception. Computer and video games have been recognized as a cultural medium for many years now, and this latest decision consistently cements that recognition in terms of the use of unconstitutional symbols as well. We in the games industry are concerned about the tendencies we see towards racism, anti-Semitism, and discrimination. We are strongly committed to an open, inclusive society, to the values laid out in the German Constitution, and to Germany's historical responsibility. Many games produced by a creative, dedicated developers address sensitive topics such as the Nazi era in Germany, and they do so in a responsible way that encourages reflection and critical thinking. The interactive nature of games makes them uniquely qualified to spark contemplation and debate, and they reach younger generations like no other medium can." So it's really an argument for games as art and free speech.
And that's very well said, too.
Right.
That isn't just like, oh, well, they're video games and they're like movies, so let us do the same thing.
Right.
No, they explain it very, very nicely
Very good
in there.
people
I
on
like
both sides. So
that.
much
And Naruto,
more,
yeah, it's about freaking time. They're officially
Yes.
art. Games are art.
So fuck you, Roger Ebert.
Except for the Sonic games.
You dead.
Those are masterpieces.
Oh my god. Well, those are kind of like the art of noise.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I mean, art. It's one of those things. I may not know about art, but I know what I like.
Yeah,
Sonic and the Black Knight. Not so much.
not so much.
No. So I mean, it's one of those things. It seems like an unusual step, but in games like Wolfenstein or Call of Duty, where it's set in World War II, it is noticeable that these are not being portrayed in a historically accurate fashion.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it's, especially for games with a message like that, I think it's important. Obviously, it's not glorifying Nazi iconography.
It would be different if you handed them a copy of like a Call of Duty,
Yeah.
and then X company makes one from the other side where the Nazis
Right.
killing a bunch of people and storming the borders and stuff like that. Like
Mein Kampf 2, Electric
yeah,
Boogaloo.
like that kind of shit, like
Yeah.
that, like because
Different
it's case by
things.
case basis. So they're gonna look
Exactly.
at those two. One of them is not gonna get fucking swastikas and imagery in it,
Right.
obviously.
No, it's not for the glorification of Nazi iconography. It's just
No,
for,
it's a fucking beatdown every
Right.
time. So yeah,
I have killed so many Nazis in Wolfenstein games. It is uncanny. But yes. All right. So, GTA Online recently updated with their after hours update, and it had like all the clubs and a bunch of new missions and
yeah, hover bike.
right, and it keeps going. So yeah, that's what they had.
As soon as I saw it, like they had all the new vehicles.
Yeah.
Oh, it had a Warthog too, or not Halo Warthog, the
Right.
A10
I like
Thunderbolt.
It's got a ring
Which
to
is
it.
my favorite jet fighter of all time. But no, it had a hover bike in it, and I was
Yes.
just like, "Fuck yes!"
Yes. So yeah, this is the Oppressor Mark II. So the Oppressor was in the game before. I don't know if they took it out. I think it was like a grief machine basically. But this new one that they've data miners have actually uncovered in the code, people are not happy.
I was wondering why they weren't. I didn't get a chance to read
Well,
more into this. So
I mean,
what's the deal?
first of all, it doesn't really fit in with the designs of the other things. Like it looks like something out of Jet Moto with a Saints Row paint job. Like,
Yeah.
it looks very much like a Saints Row thing. But it's faster and more agile than the original Oppressor. It makes it harder to hit, and it actually has anti-missile systems.
Oh, really?
And it has machine guns on it, so they're tougher to shoot down. They're easier to like wind through the city streets and grief people. So they are basically grief machines. Although, it looks really cool from a Saints Row perspective. In a GTA Online, like in a free roam mode,
You know what? I would have agreed with that a few years ago while they were still slowly releasing stuff like their heist missions
Right.
and their vehicle packs and stuff like that. But at this point, I think anything's game just because
Maybe.
of they had like their crazy stunt pack that had like the Hot Wheels cars and the looped it tracks over tops of buildings and everything. And they have had like a bunch of other like crazy additions to vehicles and like all of these insane like missions in the city and stuff like that. Like I think at this point they're basically just going with every genre, every type of vehicle they wanted to build. They're just throwing it in the game now because people are becoming multi-billionaires and trillionaires in that fucking game. So they have to keep giving them shit to buy.
yeah, I guess. But I mean,
And if
it's
you're
not like
the
there's
trillionaire playboy with everything, what do you
Right.
get them? A hover bike with
bigger
machine
apartment.
guns on it.
a yacht.
Yeah. Gold-plated yacht with rocket launchers.
What did they say about him after earning all that money? He owned a plane. But yeah, I mean, I was always a big fan of the original GTA Online, and through some of the expansions, especially the heists, like the Green Bridge 5 crew. We had so much fun playing the heists, and it really filled the void until the next Payday comes out of that kind of experience, right? We're all like coordinating, and like some of us, like there's one mission in particular, I don't remember where we were. It was like some compound out in the woods, and someone had to go steal a plane, and you'd be basically hovering around waiting to pick guys up while other like jets are shooting at you. and so people are on the ground trying to steal shit, and they're running through this compound while one guy steals a plane.
How do you pick them up with an airplane then?
You have to land,
Oh,
obviously.
okay. I thought there was like a rope hanging out of it, and you were just like, you had to fly by, and they grabbed on.
No, it's not like a Fulton system.
Yeah,
right?
that's why I was confused.
No, that would be a Payday thing. They actually did have a Fulton mission in Payday, but no. No, it's basically you stay up in the air so that when you land, the police always are following them, right? So if you stay on the ground, police will just swarm you and shoot you. So you have to stay sort of in the air and then land when they're just coming up. They run into the plane, you take off again as quickly as possible and try to get away. And it was just such great coordination and just an enjoyable mission overall.
I'm sure you're just salivating for when they announce them for Red Dead 2, right?
Oh my god! Well, I mean,
the train heist that you never
train
got.
heist, fucking train robbery. Oh, in the video, man.
Tron can't wait for the hover horse with dual Gatling guns in Red Dead.
You landed and the others had to drive an ATV in the back of a cargo plane. Yeah, there was the one where you actually had to crash one plane into the other plane.
Oh, really?
And it's like right into the fucking bay. That was entertaining. All right, so yeah, the heist missions were amazing. I really like those. I wish there was more of those. But I mean, they could have sold that. They gave it away for free. They've been doing it right and making stupid amounts of money. Maybe not Fortnite money, but...
No, but nobody makes Fortnite money, apparently, except for, like, Disney.
Well, apparently they've sold something like 150 million copies of GTA 5, like, across all the platforms.
Oh, yeah.
It's something stupid like that.
I'm not surprised, because you offer it on the different platforms. The game's been around for...
It's 10 years now, is it?
Is it 10, or I thought it was 8 years?
When did GTA 5 come out? Chat, help me out. Look that up.
Either way, it's been around for a long fucking time, and they keep having that fresh content.
Yeah.
There's always a reason to come back.
I think it was 2012 it came out.
Okay, there we go. So, yeah, and Apple laughs at your Fortnite money.
All right.
I hate both of them. It doesn't matter.
Yes. So, on the topic of games as service games.
Games as a service games.
Games as a service games. September 2013.
There you go.
Well, that must have been the PS4 one. What about PS3? Because PS3 came out, I think, a year ahead of that. Because 2013
yeah,
because
it was on there, so
right.
Yeah, it would have been before the PS4 came out, I guess.
I'm pretty sure it was the year before because it was one of those cross-generational ones.
Yeah, because I had it on PS3.
That was PS3? Are you sure? September 2013? That doesn't seem right. Doesn't matter. Actually, no, we would have to be, right? Because the PS4 didn't come out, I think, until
Steve
November.
confirmed that was PS3.
Until November, I think, the PS4 came out.
There you go.
November
so either way, I mean, still, there's not a lot of... There's almost no games that have that kind of longevity.
No.
Outside of, like, an MMO or something like that. So
even then, I mean...
I think PS4 was 2014.
Right. So it was a year later, even still. Staves are on it. Good work, Staves. All right. So, yeah, I really wish they had done additional single-player DLC, but they've really...
Oh, I know, we all did, but they realized where the money was, and they went with it, and you can't really blame them for that.
I'm not questioning the Staves. I was just confirming. I wasn't, like, disputing. I was just...
Yeah, it wasn't Jack jumped across the table and says, that's a filthy fucking lie!
Not this time, anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll happen at some point.
So today, actually, QuakeCon 2018.
Right.
Todd Howard was there talking about Fallout 76 with a couple other people from the Bethesda Softworks team. And Todd Howard, of course, the game director, you saw him. He's the guy who talks like this all the time, you know. He's got kind of that voice.
It's kind of like a shiesty car salesman almost.
But, you know, a shiesty car salesman who's, like, enjoyable and, you know, fun to...
Yeah, he at least can poke fun at himself and everything.
He definitely has a good sense of humor. So he had a panel at QuakeCon 2018 where they really tried to sell people on Fallout 76.
Yeah, because they've been having a rough go the last little bit with that.
It hasn't been really the response they were expecting.
Yeah, and I mean that's the whole thing. Like you can't really blame them for basically expecting the masses to just eat it up because it's Fallout. But yeah, I think after what they showed at E3. people had a lot of questions.
Right.
And they didn't want to give up a lot of answers. Not at
Yes.
first, anyways.
Yes. So, James Marine is saying it's time to seize the music production, comrades. And Steve says, if you want to take down Digital Fiasco, just jiggle the wire cord on the camera. Apparently. Helps, yeah. Jiggle it or, use an incorrect port. So, in any case, Fallout 76, there's a bunch of facts that they talked about that was new information.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in sort of a question and answer period there was a video presentation they had. So there's some new information we have about Fallout 76. I'm still not 100% on board, but I'm less concerned now than I was before.
Now, do you think they're kind of shifting some stuff behind the scenes, or do you think that this was still set this way from the start?
It's probably a mix of both. Probably they're reacting now to some of the rumors or questions people have and trying to clarify them. I think there's still room for outright course changes, but I don't think they're at that point yet. So let's go through sort of some of the facts they gave us. One of the weird ones, first of all, is that the game itself and the beta aren't going to be on Steam at all. It's going to be only on their Bethesda.net site, and it's going to be their own delivery system, like Blizzard does, basically.
I wonder if that has to do with that whole factor of like, hey, we're losing out on money if we put it on another platform, so let's have our own platform.
I mean, Bethesda is big enough at this point that they can afford it, even if they don't release as many games like Blizzard, right?
Yeah.
The ones that they do, they sell like hundreds of millions.
That is true, yeah.
Right. So anything Skyrim, or pardon me, Elder Scrolls, or Fallout related, Wolfenstein. So it's not going to be on Steam at first. They probably will eventually, just because eventually everything goes on Steam.
I would think they would want to kind of keep it in-house at first, too. They have a little more control over what's happening with it and whatnot.
If you have the infrastructure to back it up, that's good to get. It's not like they're a tiny little dinky indie studio.
Yeah, it's like, we got one server in the back room. I'm sure it won't catch on fire.
So every time you level up in the game, you'll get a single point for your special stats. So special, let's test it. Strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck.
Got it.
So that's your various stats. You get, for every point you get, you also get to assign a perk, and you get perks as you go. There are 50 levels. That's the level cap. Mm-hmm. So you could assign those to your special points. But perks can be reassigned at any time, and you'll still gain perks after you've hit your level cap. So you can mix and match them.
Yeah.
Apparently you can like swap them out at any time, sort of like customize the perks you have.
Oh,
so it's not
okay.
like just one shot and you're done.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So situationally you can kind of swap them around and adjust them.
I'm wondering if they're going to do one of those stupid things where it's just like, oh yeah, you can switch your perks, but you got to go visit the pharmacist and you got to pay him 2,000 bottle caps, and then they just wipe all of your perks and you get to reset them or whatever.
Or it might be like a Borderlands thing. We have to go to like a vendor or something, but they're everywhere. I mean, that might be... They didn't really clarify that, but just the fact that you can swap them around is
important, yeah, because I would hate to have that one character and everything's on lockdown as soon as you pick it, and you're like, oh, this skill's completely useless.
Yeah. So just like the previous games, too much radiation is bad for you. Of
course.
You will actually get mutations, which are essentially enforced perks that have good and bad points.
I was going to say, because you do get pros and cons, because he said examples of like a third arm or something like that. So
there was one
I don't know what that'll equate to, but that's really interesting that they've actually gone that extra mile to do that.
One of them told a story about getting a surprise mutation called Bird Bomb. It increased jump height while decreasing your strength.
Okay. I
guess...
I'm just glad that they don't have like a thing in there which is like, oh, what's the perk I got? You got cancer. Like, it's like, oh, well, that's a shitty perk.
Yeah.
I guess it's not really a perk at that point.
It's like you're extra aerodynamic after you lose all your hair.
I don't know.
I suppose. Apparently you can make musical instruments.
Really?
Yes. Todd Howard told
I guess you have to be able to entertain yourself in the wasteland.
There was this whole story that Todd Howard told where they had a day where they just sent the QA guys, they just said, okay, be the biggest dicks you possibly can so we can test our griefing mechanics or anti-griefing mechanics. Yeah. And he said one of them actually built like a big sort of a base area or a outpost area. Mm-hmm. And he was sitting in the middle of the road on a crate playing a tuba.
Okay.
And people walk up and is he doing? And when they shoot at him, a bunch of turrets were hidden in the brush and whatnot.
Oh,
they popped up
man.
and just obliterated the guys, and he just boop, boop, boop. And so, I mean, that's too hilarious to.
Oh, I love it.
I know. So it was even funny just to watch Todd Howard explain it on the stage. So I don't know why you'd make musical instruments, but I mean, the fact you can use them for griefing, I think is just awesome.
Sure, people get fucking creative
Yeah.
with those tools sometimes.
So kind of like SOCOM as well, they have team voice chat, but now they've also added area-based chat as well.
Okay.
So when you're near somebody, you'll start to hear them talking.
Right.
So that's kind of neat.
I do like that,
Yeah.
just especially in this type of game. I think that's
Right.
really important.
Yeah. And if you were worried about it, the VAT system is still in the game.
Okay.
But it's real time. So you're not targeting body parts apparently at first.
Yeah.
There's apparently a perk that lets you kind of, but it shows your percentages and whatnot. They didn't really go too much into it, but apparently it still works really well.
Okay.
Not only to hit guys, but to find them among like camouflage. And
Oh, you have
terrain.
like a scan kind of thing.
Yeah,
almost.
so it's like highlights their outlines in green.
It's just
and-
funny because you said it like you need like a perk to actually target like different
Your
parts of
legs
the
and
body.
arms,
So
yeah.
it's like when you first get it, what is it? Just like upper meat and lower meat or something?
No, I
or-
bet it's just like their whole body, right? It just
Okay.
like what percentage it is, and it's based on your perception stat as well. So it's kind of like Alpha Protocol, where you're just aiming by the crosshairs isn't enough. It also will take your stats into effect, like your spread.
First Mass Effect did that too.
Right, same
Yeah.
kind of thing. Right. So they've confirmed there will be private servers as well as mods. They're not going to be, I think, a launch feature, but it is something
No,
they're working
they got to
towards.
figure their shit out on day
Right.
one.
Yeah, no, Todd Howard, he said mods in particular are difficult to implement due to the game's online nature, but it's a problem they're 100% committed to solving.
That's good. I'm
So they'll
glad that
probably
they're
have-
keeping that community.
Right, so they'll probably have like server-side mods that will be enforced, and it'll like trigger a download from a specific URL or something,
Yeah.
much like you see in Arc. And there'll be an emote wheel so that it'll be like cross-language communication. So if you're not the same language, someone can like hi and point.
Well,
and,
of course,
you know,
yeah.
thumbs up, and
And
go
they'll
fuck
have all their
yourself.
wacky dance emotes
Right.
and everything like that.
The game's gonna have a photo mode, and you'll have different poses for your character. So
Oh, of course. You got to take selfies
Yep.
too.
yeah, that's a big thing. That, like everything in the post PS4 age,
John says, I'll take an upper meat, please. Hold the rat roach. You want some fancy cakes with that?
sugar bombs.
Yeah.
Man. You know, you save your sugar bombs for trade. You don't eat that shit. It's too expensive. People always trade well for the sugar bombs. That's worth too many caps. Okay, so player versus player combat. And this is what I was worried about. This like the griefing aspect.
Yes, of course.
So there's an opt-in PvP. So there's two aspects to it. You can just say, no, I'm not going to be in PvP at all. Or you have an opt-in PvP where you shoot somebody and it's like that triggers the PvP.
Oh, okay.
And then from that point, all the damage is full damage.
Oh, okay.
So you get kind of a reduced damage sneak attack, and then everything is full damage after that. So what's interesting though, they have a mode called Pacifist
Okay.
where your stray bullets won't trigger PvP combat. So you can't have a guy like this is something they had apparently in their testing with the QA guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone will be shooting a monster, and then you have a griefer come in and like dive
Yeah.
in between.
Yeah, exactly.
To trigger PvP. So I guess like the monster Secret Service, like, but it's like so they want to like trick people into PvP and then they just destroy them.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's also going to be kind of interesting because similar to Destiny, although there is still going to be that progression, it's going to be flattened a little bit for player versus player combat. So you can still take on a guy who's way higher level than you without him just like obliterating you.
Okay.
But PvP damage will be full and, you know, just normal. They'll roll over the low level things and, you know, high level things will be a challenge,
Well,
whereas PvP is kind of they flatten that curve a lot.
Well, that's good because again, it shows that they've clearly tested this and
Right.
they're making it playable. It's not going to be one of those ones where people are just going to get fed up and throw their controller away and
Exactly.
like, I'm fucking done with this.
So apparently, winning a PvP battle will give you some caps and some experience points based on the level disparity. If you kill a player who never accepts your invitation to do PvP, you become a wanted murderer. Which apparently you get no caps or experience for killing them, and then you get a bounty on your head.
Well, and that's what I was wondering. So, I walk up to you in a game.
Yes.
I pop you one.
Yes.
is there a button that appears on your screen that says, "Do you want to fight this player?" Or does it just my bullet hitting you acknowledges that, hey, PvP's on and it's go time, bitch?
Yeah, it's basically not so much a button, but if you fire back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you both kind of acknowledge with your initial shots,
yes.
and then it's on.
Yes, you literally respond by shooting them.
Okay.
So players are incentivized to hunt down people with bounties on them. It's kind of like in GTA when you put a bounty on someone's head, but it's automatic. And you can also ignore and block other people so that they can't even see you or interact with you at all. So if you find someone that's just griefing, you can just say, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't
straight up
see you
in
anymore.
PvP, you can just be like, fuck off. Oh.
And you don't have PvP at all until level 5. So you have your newbie levels.
So no one can fuck with you when you're low level.
Exactly. So when you
John
die,
says you shoot question bullets.
kind of. Yeah. It's like, so okay. When you die, you keep all of your equipment and all of your caps. What you drop is junk, which is kind of the rubble you pick up, the kipple that you build your bases out of.
Okay.
So
I know if I was killed, I would drop my junk too.
I would hope I would hold on to my junk. But no. So upon death, you can still do a corpse run, go back and get your junk, or, it becomes a kind of a question, is it really worthwhile to go all the way back there?
Yeah.
Because when you die, you have the option of respawning close to where you were or back at Vault 76 for free.
Oh, okay.
So it's like the further out you go, the more expensive it is to respawn.
Gotcha.
And that comes at the cost of caps.
Okay, it is caps. It wasn't junk or some other, like, crystals or something like that.
No. And when a nuke goes off, camps are destroyed. And it'll actually change the environment. There'll be unique drops. There'll be higher level enemies as they're irradiated, basically.
Okay.
After a while, it'll go back.
Will it leave like a crater in the ground? Or?
I don't think it does terrain deformation, but it does like irradiate the areas, like pools of radiation. There might be fallout and whatnot.
Yeah.
But after a while, it will revert.
I don't think you'd want to answer back with a fat man because. Apparently, that first shot doesn't really do any damage, so I think it would just be a waste of a fat man at that point.
Especially if the guy just starts running at you.
Yeah.
That's the old style GoldenEye tactic. Like,
yep.
He's like, he's got the rocket
if I'm
launcher,
going down, I'm taking you with me.
I'll do it. Do it then. I'll do it. Anyway, so the camps are destroyed, but apparently it's easy enough to rebuild them.
Okay.
So what's kind of interesting is that they have a blueprint system. So after you've gotten your house or your structure built, you can actually go and blueprint it all so that you can remake it.
So it's
easily.
You'll blueprint a house, but will you blueprint where you set your bed and where you set your armor
everything
and
in it?
Okay.
And you can like make a blueprint, and not only for like rebuilding, but also for moving your base from place to place.
Okay.
So like as you go further and further in the game, it's like this base that I built this base here, 20 hours in, it really makes more sense to have it way the fuck out there.
Right, out on this cliff or something where I can see everything.
Just, you're going back and forth more, or
so
it's a more central
do you physically
location.
like kind of pick it up and move it as an item, or do you break it down and then like walk over there with all the scrap?
You basically like destroy it and you rebuild it from the blueprint.
That's cool. I like that they did that.
It's kind of neat. And it also allows you to easily rebuild it if you've been nuked.
Yeah.
So it kind of does nerf the amount of griefing that a nuke represents. So, I mean, that does make me feel a little bit better after spending all the time building a structure.
Yes.
Not just
especially because for people like me and you, where we build our structure, we build our house, we go in there and you arrange everything just so.
Yes.
Like you have your sets of armor in the corner and you've got like a little shelf with all your items on it. Like all that stuff is so specifically set up that it's like, oh, it'd be a real shame if someone nuked me right now.
It's a nice base you got here. Shame if something were to happen to it. Oops. Oh, look at that. Things just break. Just so easily. How'd that happen?
Like a nuke wouldn't break your house.
Yeah, gotta be careful. So yeah, it's kind of neat. Like that does make me feel a little bit better about it. Because, 1,000 hours worth of No Man's Sky or Ark, I like to build shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So the fact that, just nukes your whole town and it's like, wow, now I'm in this barren, irradiated wasteland. Now I have to rebuild everything from scratch, re-scavenge everything. But you don't because it's all blueprinted. So that's good. That's not...
I like it.
It's interesting. So in concept, I'm more interested now. I really have to see kind of how it plays, but
Yeah,
I feel
especially
better
because
about
I'm
it.
still kind of on the fence about having a Fallout game
Yeah.
that doesn't have other people in it.
Just
like,
no NPCs.
Yeah, that's what I mean. No NPCs. Like,
Yeah.
there's no other humans to talk to. It's literally just
Right.
here's a wasteland,
Actual humans.
a bunch of fucking monsters, and whoever's on your server.
Right. You kill someone, find out they were OCD, and drop 3,000 coffee mugs. That was pretty much my Fallout 4 experience there.
Well, that and Skyrim and
Yeah. It's like after a while, like Fallout 3, it's like, okay, which of these are actually important for crafting?
Yeah.
Okay, and these would be the things that I take, whereas Fallout 4, everything.
Yeah.
You could break down.
you can
into
always do
components.
something with it.
Yes. Oh, I need plates because I need ceramic because I need sand for. I don't remember how it broke
And
down.
don't
but
forget the duct tape.
yes, duct tape always important. All right. So Valve has been doing some reworking, especially after that whole Bitcoin issue
Yes.
they had a few weeks back. They've been taking some steps to remove sort of the scam ability of some of these item trade functions that they have. So to cut off scammers at the knees, like say for Team Fortress 2 stuff, which was what they actually had built into that Bitcoin mining rig.
Right.
If a Steam user is receiving items for a game they've never played or that's been very recently released, they now get more than one warning pop-up saying, "Are you sure? Are you sure? No, really, are you sure?" Basically.
okay.
So that will prevent people if you think you're trading for a really good Team Fortress weapon or a hat or something, but it's really just named that way and it's for a game you don't have in your library or whatnot, it'll warn you and say, okay, this is what the game is actually for, and you can report people. So it's going to reduce the instances of fake item trading. So great for people who like that kind of thing, I guess.
Well, that's the thing is I never really got into much of that myself.
Yeah.
But
Team Fortress hats.
Well, yeah, the Team Fortress hats, all the card trading, like all
Right.
this. There seems to be this whole population on Steam that very much lives there,
Yeah.
and they trade and they do all this crazy stuff, and it's shit that I've just never even touched on Steam before. It's like Steam is
All these
is a-
cards and badges and crafting.
Steam is a gaming library to me. That is it. That's all I fucking use it for. But
Right.
people go nuts for some of these things. Like when they have like the Steam summer sale, the winter sale, all that stuff. You
those
get all these
unique
like
cards.
random unique cards,
Right.
and you play games and you unlock cards from them. And sometimes like there was I think it was a summer Steam sale like 3 years ago or something like that. I went in and I was like, oh, what is this marketplace thing and all these cards they keep giving out and stuff
Right.
like that. I went in there, I'm looking at these things, and I'm like, oh, I've got some of those from some of the games that I've played. I wonder what they're worth. And I went in and I literally like sold every fucking card that I had, and I made like $12 and I bought a game.
Right.
Because I was like,
It's like, who's buying these things?
I have no idea. And that's the thing is I had so many of them. Some of them were
Kids
only
today.
selling for like 2 cents and 5
Right.
cents and stuff, but that shit adds up when you've got hundreds of them.
Yeah, like 20 cents, 50 cents here and there.
Yeah, so I think the most expensive card I sold was actually worth like $3 or something like that. So I don't know. It's such a weird concept
It
to
is
me. I
weird.
guess there's some people that are just that much of a completionist or something.
I guess.
but
You can like break them down and craft them into badges or
But that's the whole
emblems or
thing
some
is
shit.
when I looked at it, I was like, again, it's this whole concept of trophies and
Yeah.
achievements and stuff. If those badges meant something, if I got a permanent
Right.
10% discount on games or something like that, that would make more sense to me. But from my standpoint, I don't think they actually do anything other than, hey, look at these badges I have.
It's
So
like a status symbol,
Yeah.
basically. It's for those people who really hang out on the Steam chats and whatnot, and they have the badges and whatnot. And
I
that's
guess
their
so.
name, and I don't know.
But either way, hey, I got a free game out of it, so
Yeah.
I'm happy.
So on the Steam subreddit, Tony Paloma, who's a Valve developer, says you're going to see more security measures on the way. He also says we started requiring approval for app name changes and have more planned to address this sort of problem that we couldn't get done in one day. We're hopeful that having to dismiss 2 warning dialogues will be sufficient to make people think twice about trades containing forged items, but this is not the end of our response, and we'll continue to monitor. Of course.
Yeah, because there's always going to be that one crafty guy out there that figures another way around
Right.
it.
Makes a 0, it looks like an O, and
Yeah.
so sneaky. Capital I that looks like a lowercase L.
Yeah,
All right.
they always fuck around with that stuff.
So Dead Cells came out last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not had a chance to pick it up yet, but I really fucking want to play
Yeah,
it.
yeah. A lot of people want to play it. Like, for example, the former IGN editor, Philip Minuchin.
Whatever.
Don't worry about pronouncing it because he got fired. There was a review that he posted for Dead Cells last week.
I know all about this one.
Yep. And very, very quickly, allegations surfaced that his review of Dead Cells was plagiarized from gaming website and YouTube channel Boomstick Gaming. So if you compare the IGN review to the Boomstick Gaming review, it is shockingly similar.
It really is, because there was another show I was watching, and they played them kind of side by side for certain portions of it and everything like that. And holy fuck, yeah, there's no doubt. It's literally like it was that whole meme of like, hey, can I borrow your homework? Yeah, just don't copy it exactly.
Right.
It's like he switched a few words here and there, but like exact same thing.
Yeah. Another website put up a comparison video that's called Grand Theft Author.
Nice.
Yeah, so he was fired middle of last week, and on Friday he released like this rambling video denial on his own YouTube channel, claiming that people are making mountains out of molehills and they're just doing it for clicks. And they're blaming, I think it's Jason Schreier of Kotaku. Like, oh, I guess, he's wild accusations about this plagiarism he was doing. He says, oh, well, if you find anything else, let me know. And turns out that was the wrong thing to say, because some people found a few other things.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah, so he says there were a lot of circumstances surrounding the review. He did not intend to plagiarize from another channel. So at this point...
Didn't intend to plagiarize.
Right, no. Didn't intend to, just accidentally plagiarized. So the internet hate machine, of course, ramped up the churn, and they came up with two other instances. A FIFA 18 review for Switch, which was very similar to one on Nintendo Life, and a review of Metroid Samus Returns, which is very similar to one which is posted a week earlier on Engadget. So, strangely enough, his denial video is no longer on his website and not on his channel for some reason.
You got me.
I mean, like, I don't know what he thought he was going to accomplish by, oh, yeah, go look and see if I've done any others, because, wow.
The part I don't get, because, I mean, I've personally written reviews myself, too, multiple times, and that was while I still have a full-time like day job and everything like that, and all my other projects and everything like that. Like, this guy, even if he's writing for multiple websites, that's all he's fucking doing. All he's doing is reviewing games.
He's busy playing Fortnite.
Review the fucking game. Write a review for Fortnite then.
Fortnite. Yeah, so anyway, IGN pulled the review. They fired the guy. They apologized to Motion Twin, who created Dead Cells, and they said that the game will be re-reviewed by another journalist. Or a journalist, perhaps. Allegedly withdrawn. So yeah, he looked a little bit crazed in the video, so I can only imagine he's going to have some trouble finding work after this.
It's going to be tricky for him.
It's going to be rough. It's not like he's Adam Orth. He can just go into game development.
Well, and it's that type of thing, too. It's like, no, I swear, this one isn't plagiarized. Go ahead, look the internet. It's not there.
Oh, my God. All right, so we got some quick hits. So God of War is continuing to sell like stupid numbers. It is the fastest-selling first-party title in PlayStation history. And not just PlayStation 4 history, in all PlayStation history. It has made, apparently, $151 million in digital revenue alone. And they're going to be continuing to add stuff to it, like New Game Plus mode launches August 20th. So Discount better get off his ass and finish the game so I can get it back. Because I am anxious to go back through, man and boy with X.
I was going to say, not like you have anything else to play right now, right?
I mean, another 100 hours in No Man's Sky.
Well, there you go. That should keep you busy for a while.
Fuckers took my drug farm away. I can't mine Geknip anymore. Anyway, PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man is coming out very soon, and it's going to have apparently 25 different suits available in the game, like with different abilities and whatnot.
Okay, they actually have different abilities, though?
Yes, apparently they do.
That's awesome.
Apparently.
I'm glad that they do, because that's one of the things I always liked about the older Spider-Man games.
Right,
is
the
that
Activision ones?
the Activision ones, is that you had, like, all these classic fucking costumes, and some just made it for the game and everything. but they never really, out of like a few of them, they never really did anything special. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that these actually will have abilities.
Yeah, some of them. So anyway, the ones they've confirmed so far, they have the classic suit, the Scarlet Spider, the homemade spider suit, the Iron Spider suit. I don't know what the Velocity suit is, but they have that. The Spider Punk suit, the Advanced suit, the Noir Spider suit, which is I like from Shattered Dimensions.
Fucking love that one.
Awesome. The Secret War Spider suit, which was ugly as fuck. Spider Armor Mark II, the 2099 Spider suit,
There it is.
and the Homecoming Spider suit.
Very
So
nice.
That will be cool. In addition to, of course, the new design specifically for the Insomniac one. Sony's releasing a special translucent blue limited edition PS4 to commemorate 500 million
Yeah.
PlayStation. Oh, and thank you for the subscription.
Thank you very much
Anonymous
for that subscription. Anonymous person that's in the chat, I guess.
Is it Damon Blade?
I don't know. It's a mystery.
Do they have the ability to not be killed by the Infinity Gauntlets? It's going to be, so to commemorate 500 million PlayStation consoles sold, and that's across all 4 generations, I guess, and PSP and Vita, but 500 million PlayStations sold. That's crazy.
Yeah, no kidding.
It looks awesome. You can see all the innards and whatnot.
Yeah, it's got the kind of dark blue
Right.
see-through plastic and kind of like a dark gold like emblems on it and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Really nice.
Yes, very cool. Developer Human Nature has launched a FIG campaign to fund the creation of Starflight 3, a canon sequel to the Venerable series led by studio head Greg Johnson, who is the creator of Starflight. He's actually expecting to deliver the game by the end of 2020. So, in addition to Star Control, which is still mired in legal dreck,
Yep.
we're going to get the original Starflight game, the new version of that as well,
And I'm
made
sure
by the original creator.
this is your jam too, so you're
Oh,
like
yes.
super excited for this, right?
Well, Starflight 2 wasn't great, but the original Starflight was a huge game for me. Yeah, spent too much, not going to try to get that limited PS4 Pro.
Don't
Well,
worry,
yeah,
everyone
okay.
else is gonna be on that clicking button there just so they
Yeah.
can fucking sell them on eBay the next day for twice the price.
That is crazy. That is crazy. Yeah. But yeah, believe me, I'm sure it's going to be just scalpers nonsense.
Yeah.
So by 2020, we're going to see that. This is actually one thing I didn't know is that Greg Johnson, this guy, he is actually also the guy who's working on the new Toe Jam and Earl game.
Oh, okay.
So it's him. He's Starflight and Toe Jam and Earl. That's kind of
what a weird mix of games there.
weird. But yes, I'm anxious to see that as well. So Toe Jam and Earl Back in the Groove will be finished first, then Starflight 3 by the end of 2020. And some of the pre-alpha footage they've shown actually looks pretty cool. So check that out on FIG. Tekken 7 is about to release their Season 2 pass, and they're going to be adding an unusual fighter to the mix.
Is it like a Teletubby or something?
No, a character from The Walking Dead. They're going to be adding Negan.
Wait, what?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan, basically
Uh,
Negan with what's it, Lucille, I think is the bat.
yeah, his barbed wire bat or
Right.
whatever.
Yep.
What?
So-
What? I'm so confused by that. Out of like, if you said, hey Dandr0id, guess what character's coming out in Tekken 7?
in a million years.
I think Negan would probably be near like the bottom like 10 that I would have guessed out of every character ever known to man.
I mean, John McCain, like
Is it-
very low. in
Did
the
they have an
listing.
explanation? Like, are the creators like a fan of the show or something?
They must be.
or-
They must be, or
Yeah.
it's just one of those weird cross promotional things. But yeah, it apparently they didn't show. They only showed the guy sort of in outline and silhouette.
Okay.
But they played audio clips from the actual show, so I'm
Okay.
assuming it's going to look like Jeffrey
It's-
Dean Morgan.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly licensed and stuff if
Yes.
they're actually getting clips and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
so-
yeah. They even used the theme song in the trailer.
Oh, really?
So,
No, and Jane is no
Coral.
No Coral because he has a fucking gun and he would just be able to shoot everyone. It wouldn't be fair. Yeah, see, even like Michonne would have
Why,
been
yeah,
a
Michonne would have made sense.
that would have
right?
been a much more natural
the
fit for
sword.
that.
Like perfect.
Oh, there you go. There's a fucking idea. Walking Dead fighting game.
Well, I mean, but Negan, he's got the swagger. He's got the
Yeah,
BDE,
I guess.
man.
Either way, it's fucking
Yeah.
weird. It really is.
It kind of is an odd choice, especially since he's a bad guy. But
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just typically if you see a guest character in a game, it's typically from
Right.
either A, very big AAA title on that console or something, or B, a character from another fighting game.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Whatever.
Yeah, it's weird.
Blizzard has officially announced that they apparently have multiple Diablo projects in the works.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming a sequel and then some other things. Maybe a Diablo MMO or
I was about to say, it's
something.
like, it wouldn't be a sequel, but I guess we have had Diablo 3 for a long fucking time now.
It has been,
so,
yeah. Quite a while.
Interesting.
But yeah, more Diablo is always a good thing. Plus, Blizzard hasn't released a game in fucking forever. So
Yeah.
BioWare continues to hint that there is a Mass Effect project actually in the works. In addition to, apparently, there's a games as a service modeled Dragon Age game,
Okay.
which I kind of have mixed feelings about. Just the
Yeah.
fact that they're even talking about it. So at PAX, the latest PAX, I think it was PAX West. Maybe PAX East. Would it be PAX East?
PAX West
Oh, and thank you. Jesus gave blowjobs. Thank you for the follow. I can't. I can't say that's historically
No,
accurate.
PAX West is Prime, so that's the one that's in Seattle.
Okay.
That's in the fall. So,
Okay, so we're
yeah.
in PAX East. So anyway, Casey Hudson was there. He was talking about it at PAX. We hear loud and clear the interest in BioWare doing more Dragon Age and Mass Effect, so rest assured that we have some teams hidden away working on some secret stuff that I think you'll really like. We're just not ready to talk about any of it for a little while.
I think that's like a canned saying that they all have. It's just like we're working on something that we think you'll really like.
Well, just, okay, I mean, that might be the case. Just the fact that they mention Mass Effect instead of, like, it's the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people were saying that after Andromeda, it was on the shelf. They weren't going to do Mass Effect for a while. Mm-hmm. So that's good.
You think it was just the fans spoke up and they heard it? Like,
I don't know.
Because they're like, you know what? It's okay, BioWare. It wasn't
Yeah.
your best outing, but we do want more of this. We want more Mass
I liked
Effect.
Andromeda, especially after they fixed it, but I was not, like, I guess I'm an Andromeda apologist. I went into it, and if you watch the live stream, I was not liking it for, like, the first couple of hours, and it turned it around on me. It actually was, by the end of the game, enjoyable. Had a stupid ending, but it kind of came back. So I'd be okay with an Andromeda 2 or just another Mass Effect in general.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. I do want to see another Mass Effect game. It's a good series. But, just the fact that they even bring it up, you know, unlike Raven, which it's been a couple of years, I haven't heard anything else about Singularity 2. What the fuck, Raven?
I don't think it sold all that well.
It didn't, but they made a point of saying, you know, Katorga 12, we're going back. Tweeted it out. Raven's 25th anniversary.
Maybe they
2 goddamn years ago.
Maybe they like the troll. I don't know.
I would absolutely love, even a remastered Singularity would be awesome.
I think at this point that'd probably be more likely than a full-fledged 2.
They did it for Bulletstorm, and they did it for, like, Assassin's Creed Rogue.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Damn it. It was a good game. It was a really good game. All right. So here's our big ticket.
Oh, before the big ticket.
Oh, okay.
This might have gone past your news reading or something like that
Or I didn't
earlier,
care.
but or it was just something you didn't want to have in the news tonight or whatever. But I wanted to get just your kind of thoughts on it and whatnot. And that's the thing that came up with Ninja, who's the biggest streamer on Twitch, plays a lot of Fork Knife and whatnot. You've heard of him
Yes,
before?
no, I know Ninja,
okay,
yeah.
all right. He is refusing to stream with women. But
refusing to stream with
now
women.
refusing to stream with women, but that's the problem, is that a lot of news places that have been reporting on this, that's how they title it, as clickbait. So it makes it sound like Ninja doesn't want to stream with women.
Okay, so are we talking about not streaming with women, or are we talking about not streaming with women who are using their sexuality to attract clicks?
Well, no, just
specifically exploitative.
Just streaming with women.
Well, that's weird.
In general, as a rule.
Why?
And it comes with the fact that, okay, so he's a married man.
Okay.
And basically what happens,
It's like a Mike Pence model.
because we live in clickbait culture.
Yes.
So he says that he does not want to put his wife through the stress of anything happening where you can take any kind of clip, any kind of screenshot, anything at all that's hinted at as flirting or anything like that, and basically throw it at him or throw it at his wife, like tenfold. So he just says, I don't want any of that shit going on, so I'm just going to wash my hands of it, and I'm not going to stream with females, because it's an interesting aspect, because I had seen it on Philip DeFranco today, and I'm kind of in the same camp that he is, where it's kind of a 50-50 thing, where it kind of sucks, because yeah, you should stream with women because, equality, equal gamers, fucking go for it. But the internet's a horrible place too.
Okay,
and
sure.
there is that fact that one of Philip DeFranco's examples was that he's had people on his show before. He's talked about women, and all of a sudden people blow things out of proportion. They say he's either flirting with them, or he's taking a liking to them, or he just did this to get this it's a beautiful woman on his show because he's in love with her and stuff like that. And they not only complain about it in the chat, in the comments, directly to him via email, but they send horrible things to his wife saying, hey, look at this, your husband's flirting with these people on here and everything like that. So it's like, the internet is a terrible place for this kind of shit, and that's why it's kind of that 50-50. It cuts both ways. So I wanted to get your kind of mindset on that.
Okay, I granted, I think it is weird that is the stance that he takes, because it's like the Mike Pence stance, where he won't go to dinner with a woman unless his wife is there. He can't be alone with women without his wife there. Like, what would happen if you were just on your own devices and there was a woman there? Weird. But I think it just seems very... It's just a weird binary thing to say, nope, not with women because something might happen. Just, don't flirt with them, or
But people take stuff out of context, especially when you're a streaming gamer.
If his wife is crazy jealous, maybe, but
because shit flies out of your mouth that sometimes you regret saying, or it can be taken completely the wrong way,
I guess.
And with the culture we're currently in, people take stuff the wrong way all the fucking time.
Okay.
And a lot of what you can blurt out while you're gaming and shit like that, people will be like, oh my god, did you hear what he said to this chick when he wasn't even talking to her?
Okay, yeah, but that's the nature of a live experience, right? Especially for streaming, for Twitch.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll have a situation where, it's happened with PewDiePie, or even with Ninja, where he rapped the N-word.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that happens. If you're not willing to participate in that live entertainment experience, then you really are in the wrong genre.
Well, and that's the worst part, is that people still insist on watching it, even though it's like they're expecting to be insulted or triggered at some point or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee, if he was streaming with a female at that point,
yeah,
news articles would have blown up, and they would have literally said, Ninja says N-word to female partner on stream live or something like that, and that would just be total clickbait taken completely the wrong way. But people eat it up, and he just wants to stray away from that.
He's a public figure. I don't think you can get away with that. Get away from that, rather.
Yeah.
Just not having... It's a stupid stance, I think, to just... on the off chance something might happen, I'm not going to have women on stream with me. That's... I would either say, take the chance, or brief your wife, or get her off social media, take her account private so that people can't DM her weird things, or just don't say hateful shit to women.
Oh, people still find a way. And no, it's not about him saying hateful stuff.
Or
it's
hateful
about,
or sexual or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to have a certain level of thick skin when you're a public figure, or the wife of a public figure, or the husband of a public figure.
Yeah.
Right. You got to think that Jessica Nigri's boyfriend or husband, I don't know if she's married or what, he's got to be like all these people fawning over, asking her to show her feet and things. That guy's got to be like, oh my god, the internet. But that's her job.
Yeah.
Right. That's the expectation is there, that there's going to be some weird ass people and some nice people as well, good people on both sides.
Yeah.
But that's the internet. It's humanity as a whole.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And it's really unfortunate, because I wish it'd be one of those things where you can tell, the community to toughen up a little too, rather than getting triggered at every little thing.
Right. It's come to the point now where we're coddling. I mean, obviously certain things are off limits, but it comes to the point where it's like, oh, don't talk about clowns because I have whatever that clown phobia is. It's like, I can't respond to every possible trigger that people have, especially the more off mean that they become, right? Like, people don't want to see, in Satisfactory, they announced that they have a function where you can turn off It's called the arachnophobia mode. You turn off
Okay.
the giant spiders, and they become like GIF images of cats.
Oh my god.
So you shoot them instead of the spiders. So it's like, okay, because a lot of people hate spiders. I can see that. You know, kind of like you get the
Yeah.
reaction. Sure. But I mean, at some point, how accommodating do you have to be? You know, just people are going to say hateful shit on the internet if you have to ignore it. You
Well,
have to
and I
get
mean,
past it.
and that's why it's a literal 50-50, because there are people who support him and there
Yeah.
are people who are against him because, again, they're calling him sexist, even though he's doing
is
this for his
sexist.
wife.
Well, I mean, like, what? Just don't flirt with the woman. You know, just if something happens out of context, you show your wife the whole video and say, "Look, I wasn't flirting."
No,
with her.
he wants to save her from that just the bullshit anyways
Well,
of
he-
people sending her garbage.
It's
like,
too late. He's got millions of followers.
Yeah.
They watch him all the time. They dissect his life. Shit's gonna happen.
Yeah.
If he doesn't like it,
I don't
get
know.
off the internet.
I'm slightly on the other side of the fence for that. Just what Tron's kind of saying too is bottom line is his life, so he can
It is.
decide how to proceed with his personal and professional roles, and that's basically him in his professional and his personal at the same time. So
Well, I mean, he may not be doing it from a sexist standpoint, but I mean, we only have his word that that's the case. I mean, what is he afraid of? He's going to accidentally oh, my wife caught me accidentally fucking this girl on camera. Like,
no. He wants to do this to basically just save her from the wash of the internet. Which, again, one way or another.
Right.
Some shit's going to happen. So again, it's his decision. It really is a 50-50.
I don't know. I find it odd. I mean, if he said, you know, I don't want to have like Ukrainians on my stream or something, right? People would be like, "Fuck you, you're racist," you know, or I don't want to have like a specific race on my stream, you know. But I don't want women on my stream for my wife. Like, I don't want to have non-Christians on my stream because they're going to hell. Like, at what point do you say that's a weird stand to take? You know, I think you have to be inclusive. I just think it's strange.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the other side that a lot of people have put forward, too, is that, you know, because he is such a, you know, positive and productive force for Twitch and gaming as a whole and stuff like that, he should kind of take that step forward and be like, no, everyone's here, everyone's, you know, included, and you should be able to game with anyone that you want to. So.
Chichinuki says, I know it's not worried about him being caught doing something. It's about the internet being a terrible place and attacking his wife with lies. Well, his wife shouldn't have a publicly publicized social media presence.
Oh, people would still find her.
Yeah, but I mean, take steps, right? And TK Star brings up sort of the other side of the coin. Like I'm talking about, you can't avoid the opposite gender all the time. What happens in situations where you're a guest and there happens to be another woman on stream?
Yeah,
right?
well, no, and he has stated that he won't stream with women. So if he's at an event or something like that, then
that's not right. That's weird. That is strange. I mean, yeah, you respect his decision. Maybe I don't know that I do, but it's his choice. God, they need a dial-in phone so I can tell Jack he just doesn't get it. Well, you don't get it, and it's my show.
Oh, no,
so,
there you go. She's his manager.
Yeah, so
She needs to be public.
she doesn't need to be public to everyone. She needs to be available to people who do bookings and stuff. But still, there's a public line and whatnot. And what are they going to send her? They're going to make up shit anyway. They have people on the internet claiming we never landed on the fucking moon. So
Hey, man, like I said, the internet's a terrible place.
right? So, oh yeah, 9/11 was an inside job.
Oh, there you go. See, taking it out of context, they'll clip that and they'll
Right.
fucking roast you for it.
Yeah, no,
Captain
it's-
Clinch, get on that.
Yeah. I tell ya. It's like
Okay. Well, hey,
jet
that's
fuel can't melt steel beams.
there you go. There's
There's
another
your
clip
clip.
for
There's another clip for you.
Now shake your fist.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wanted to get your feedback on it. I thought
Harrison
it was
Ford's irradiating my
I
testicles.
thought it was interesting. We were typically a lot along the same mindset
Yeah.
on a lot of things, but this one was very
No.
interesting to me. So
I don't like that. I don't like that. That's a very strange stance. Yeah, the internet's a hateful place, but if you can't stand it, you're playing fucking Fortnite. Grow some thick skin. I mean, shit. Half the time, people are hurling like racist invective at you. If you've been on Xbox Live for 8 minutes, you've heard like all the major racial epithets and
I
swears.
think it's more like 4 minutes. But
Right. Well, I mean, the 4 minutes are like they have to connect up their headphones and
Steve
shit.
says he has evidence that you think the Earth is flat.
I don't think the Earth is flat. I think the Earth is like flat on top and
donut.
round at the bottom. It's got a turtle under it, and it's got the 4 elephants under the disc. 4 elephants on the back of the turtle. Great attune. So anyway,
All right.
big ticket.
Okay.
So 2 weeks ago, UK newspaper, the Daily Mirror, ran a controversial headline targeting Epic Games' billion-dollar IP, Fortnite. And it ran the headline, "Fortnite made me a suicidal drug addict."
There's some fucking clickbait for you.
Right. And that the byline reads, "Dad saves his son 17 from death plunge after he gets hooked on online craze."
Did they have like a little newsy in this too?
Yeah,
or-
extra, read all about it.
Boy
Fortnite.
tries to kill himself over fork knife.
And I'm like, I read this, I saw the like the headline and the front page, and I'm just like,
Yep, here we go.
so of course immediately people are like, oh, video games make people violent, blah blah blah, and it's like, oh my god. So anyway, the headline reads, "A boy's obsession with video game Fortnite ruined his life and drove him to suicidal bid. His dad had to physically stop him from jumping to his death. Carl Thompson, 17, from Preston, said, 'Fortnite made me a suicidal, thieving, lying drug addict.
Wow.
I was taking speed so I'd stay awake and play all night, but I started needing more.'"
Jesus Christ.
Right. So
Really?
like right away, like I just I got nothing. Like
It's like, yeah, what do you do with that? Like
so Eurogamer did an expose about this. They looked into the author of this news piece, this article in the Daily
news
Mirror,
piece from
right?
the newspaper.
Right. Fake news. So they delved into the author, who is named Matthew Barber. Apparently it's not the first time he's written these sensationalized sort of accusations against various industries. So,
So it is various industries. It's
Oh,
not
yes.
like he's not just attacking video games.
No. It was like one he had about like healthcare, about people in waiting rooms, and has your life been endangered? Have you had troubles after surgery?
Wow, so he sounds like a shoddy lawyer or
Right,
something.
but it was like whatever the biggest news grab is. Like 2 years ago when the Pokemon Go craze was in full swing.
Yeah.
He sent out this blanket email via this. It's like a survey response mechanism they have. The name of it is actually called Response Source. He asked for anyone to describe Pokemon Go's potential negative effects in exchange for £100. He even suggests a few problems they might like to talk about. So the text is, I'm working on a story about Pokemon Go and urgently trying to speak to anyone who plays this who can describe any potential negative effects. Maybe it's affecting their sleep, their relationships, their work, etc. £100 fee can provide copy control and pug any relevant charity/organization. So parents, groups, and whatnot.
Of course,
this thing ruined my son's life. Like, it's so blatant and just... It literally prompting people to lie.
One of those fixed surveys, basically. Yeah.
Exactly. So Chris Bratt, formerly of Eurogamer, he reached out to Barber with a fake story about the Fortnite craze,
Okay.
trying to entice him. And the next day, he calls me for an interview over the phone. This is the bit that blew him away. He says he started the phone call by saying that although he figured certain parts of my story had been embellished, that didn't matter. He'd write it anyway.
So he's a sham.
Yeah, so the survey for this specific article, the Fortnite article, I'm urgently trying to speak to a family where a child has become addicted to Fortnite. We need this to be as strong as possible. The case study can be anonymous, and we can pay a £300 fee. We can also fully credit any clinic or therapist. So people are coming out of the fucking woodwork. This is the way like sensationalized articles like this come about, and then people reference them in other reputable sources. Oh, they're saying, like, this kills me.
Yep, hashtag fake news.
Right? This is how
Fortnite turned me into a newt.
I got better. It's dangerous, though, especially this one where it says the guy, like, he tried to commit suicide. Then you realize, like, okay, His parents didn't realize he was just playing Fortnite day and night. He didn't go to school. He was taking speed to stay awake. At what point do your parents notice that you're not coming into your room for like a week at a time and you're up like in the middle of the fucking night and you never sleep?
Oh, because they were busy getting drunk in
Right.
the living room or something.
But it's Fortnite's fault.
Yeah,
right? They
of course.
made my son a drug addict. They made him suicidal. Not like playing games for a week without sleep. That couldn't have had any effect on him wanting to kill himself.
No, of course not.
No, it's just ridiculous. Rather than 300 pounds, you can pay me in Fortnite currency. I think you're missing the spirit of the discussion. V-Bucks. Oh, God. Took a 5-hour energy once, and it was horrible. Well, just don't take it at, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. I mean, unless you really, really need it at that point.
Those things really don't taste great, but they do the trick.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It does what it says on the label.
Yeah. So,
It should say tastes like shit on the label,
Yeah.
though.
So, I mean, this is obviously a tabloid newspaper in the UK. It's well known that this is not a great source, but I mean, sometimes you see it get referenced and parroted, stuff like this. This is how we get these stupid articles about,
Yeah. It's like,
making
I
kids-
saw a survey in the Daily Star once. Yeah, that's awesome. Nobody fucking references that ever.
Oh, and it's like you think back to rock and roll is going to make the kids of our generation. It's going to make anarchists. You know, they're going to worship Satan. And they think in the 70s, you get Dungeons and Dragons. It's satanic. They're going to worship Satan. They're going to kill themselves. And then they had that shitty made-for-TV movie with Tom Hanks where he jumped off a building because he was in the dungeon world.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's like people don't understand this shit and they try to demonize it as an oversimplification rather than taking responsibility for their own shit.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing is you can replace it with so many different things. You have TV, you have movies, you have music, you have there's people that would do the same thing where their kid, my kid hasn't come out of his room in 3 days and all he's doing is writing dark poems and dressing in black and cutting himself. It's like,
whatever.
Are you gonna go after the Razor Blade Company, or are you gonna go after Edgar Allan Poe or something? Like, what do you?
Dollar Shave Club killed my kid.
Like, what the fuck do you want? Talk to your kid. Figure out why he's fucking playing this all the time. Smack him back of the head or something like that. I mean, it's not the game. The game isn't doing that.
No.
He could be addicted to fucking Pac-Man. It's an addiction. That's the problem right there.
Exactly. I mean, if Son of Sam can get messages from barking dogs, Fortnite's not the fucking problem.
Yeah.
A week without sleep, probably the problem. A bunch of speed in his system, probably not helping.
Yeah.
Like
his brain is already clearly fried a bit.
It's a devil worshiper of music.
Yeah. Yep. Name Killer Story. I blame MTV.
It's all MTV's.
Have you seen what they're showing these days, man? It's fucking trash. You know why I blame them? Because there's nothing good on anymore, so
all the
people are
reality
turning
TV.
to Fortnite.
Yeah. You know what they am in MTV? Apparently that stands for music.
Yeah. Well, I mean, used to. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually changed their name to media television now or something like that, because they don't do music at all.
They can just say modern television, and that's nice and genre
and
spanning.
It's technically always modern then.
Because honestly, it's all just fucking MTV, real world nonsense and just reality television garbage.
Yeah, it's called talking to your children. What a
Right.
fucking concept.
Actually parenting instead of sitting them down in front of the television and going off and doing your own thing.
Yeah.
Get involved in your kid's life. Maybe don't let them play Fortnite
Yeah,
for 128 hours straight.
I just imagine these just two slacker parents, probably dude's got a bottle of wine in his hand and someone's reading in a fucking newspaper. They're sitting on the couch. Hey, seen her kid in a few days? I don't know. Whatever.
Shut up, I'm playing No Man's Sky.
Go back to watching Walking Dead or something.
Yeah. I tell you.
I don't want to sound like old man yells at cloud right now, but I mean that's basically what it's at. You talk to your fucking kids.
Fear mongering is what it is.
It's an addiction. It has nothing to do with what they're addicted to. It's an addiction factor.
But yeah, I mean, they're saying, it causes people to commit suicide or it makes them a drug addict. That's a dangerous oversimplification.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there you go.
4-year-olds with cell phones, can people talk at 4? I don't even know.
Oh, it has nothing to do with the phone. It has to do with the entertainment on the device. Because you get 2-year-olds that know how to unlock a phone and operate and go to YouTube in find their favorite videos.
Have you seen the video of the kid with the original green and black Game Boy?
Oh,
and
yes, and they're poking at the screen.
trying to, like, because they can't
a
understand
person,
it.
a child, that's the factor. Like,
Right.
they're born into a world
That's
where
the UI
everything has touchscreens now. Whereas I'm like, you know, I was way fucking back. Like, most things didn't have screens on them, so it was like, their touchscreens were like Star Trek technology.
Yeah, you had to have the light pen.
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
That thing,
Or you
know?
had to mash the fucking screen just to
Right.
make it work. And Rurutu, I love that. I'm going to use that now. Old man yells at cloud computing.
Oh.
I'm going to use that for something. I like it.
Get that. We have to get a shirt like that.
Yes.
Old man yells at cloud computing.
Oh, fuck yes.
All right, so you know what time it is.
Absolutely.
It's time to press select on the options menu.
You still don't have a select button on there. Just rando one. I didn't hear a sound.
Nah, doesn't matter.
Anyways,
Anyway,
we have the select button.
we are pressing select on the options menu. This week, we are on a rotating group of topics we are picking near misses and second chances. Games that could have been great, just needed a little bit more polish, or games that maybe the first time around not so good, they need a sequel to really get it right. So what do you got for us this week?
Okay, so this is one that it's kind of tricky because the game previous to it was really fucking good.
Oh, God.
So it's the third game in the series.
Red Faction?
No.
Oh.
Killzone.
Oh, okay.
Killzone 3, after Killzone 2, was an absolute letdown.
It really was.
And it's not like it was a bad game per se.
Sure.
It just fell completely short of everything that Killzone 2 did. Whereas typically, as you get to the third game in the series, that's when things should be amping up.
Right.
You get the bigger and badder weapons, you get the crazier vehicles, you have the bigger set pieces and the bigger explosions, you know, more shit's going on, because everything should be coming to a crescendo. And the problem is that I think Killzone 3 almost felt like a Monster of the Week episode. Like,
Right.
it felt like it was either like a DLC or like a side story that should have been in like a Vita game or something like that. Like one of those tie together, here's the stuff that's happening, and leave it off at a horrible fucking cliffhanger where nothing really happened a lot in the game to begin with.
Right.
It looked really good, it played really well, had like the same swath of weapons that you had in the second game. You know, had some fun vehicle sections and stuff like that. But ultimately, I still remember way more about 2 than I ever will of 3.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I remember there was a lot of snow.
Yeah, there was a lot of snow. There were some cool new Hellgast characters. A few more, like, kind of more unique boss fights, I think.
Snow Nazis.
But outside of that,
I couldn't even tell you the plot of 3, except that I know that they blew up the planet at the end.
Yeah, and they blew up a planet, and I remember the ending, because, again, it was such a letdown, because you're, like, in the middle of a firefight, things are exploding, and you look up, and you see all these giant capital ships flying overhead, and then that's, like, the end of the fucking game. You're like, they, like, didn't even finish the end of the game, it feels like.
Well, I mean, they blew up Helgen.
Yeah.
And then, like, that led into the plot of 4, which Maim, Kill, Destroy does bring up and says it was a generic bore fest. And he's absolutely correct.
And again, Shadowfall was, again, like, it just paled in comparison. 2 is still by far, like, the gold standard for that.
The owl was cool, though.
Yeah, I like that. It's a cool concept. So that was something that kind of breathed some life into that.
And the fact that it was a little bit more open than the other ones. But, 2 is really, like, genre-defining for me. Like, I really like that.
Yeah, I still thoroughly remember, like, a lot of the weapons, a lot of the missions, just the grunge and the colors in that game, and just the feel of it. The multiplayer was awesome. Like, the classes that you had, like, I put so many fucking hours into that game.
Yeah.
And 3 I basically played and I was done. Like, I was like, oh, well, that was disappointing.
Very true. Yeah. I mean, Guerrilla, as it is with Horizon now, as much as I loved Killzone, and I played not only the 4 main Killzone games, but the Vita one, which was
Mercenary.
Yeah,
I never did get to play that one. I always wanted
really
to.
Good. It was really good. It really could have reinvigorated the franchise if they made like a proper port of that for PS4. Mercenary was really good, but Horizon Zero Dawn came out, and like, I don't want to see Guerrilla do another Killzone game.
I think that just comes down to the factor that I feel like maybe Guerrilla was just wasn't feeling it anymore.
I can see that.
They weren't in that first-person shooter vibe anymore, so they were like, you know what, let's start something fresh, something we're really inspired by, and we'll roll with that. And I, for one, am glad that they did.
Really glad.
I'm really going to miss having another Killzone game like Killzone 2,
Well,
but there's plenty of other shooters out there that can
Yeah.
kind of fill that void, whereas Horizon, there's not a lot else out there that really encompasses all of that that game has.
So they could farm it out, like farm out the IP to someone like Blind Squirrel or to like one of these secondary studios, like or what is it? The ones that did the ports of the Metal Gear games.
Bluepoint?
Bluepoint.
Yeah.
Bluepoint like if you remember, was it Santa Monica? One of those studios started off just doing ports, and now they're doing like full-fledged AAA games. I think Bluepoint has actually done some really amazing ports. I think it's time to actually get them out there and doing their own games. They could actually make a brand new Killzone, give it to them. Just
That'd be interesting.
drop
Just
the IP on them.
because that's the whole thing is that when Guerrilla's uninspired, maybe
Yeah.
another company that really enjoyed that game,
bring
they're
some life into
very
it.
inspired, and they're like, oh, we have so many fucking ideas for this, and they would roll with it then.
Sony should straight up buy Bluepoint after the port
After
that they
all
did.
the great
a-
shit that they've done,
Like Shadow of the Colossus, the remake they did. Jesus
just
Christ.
awesome. Great job on
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
Killzone 4 Battle Royale. No.
God damn it,
No,
Mario 2!
no fucking Battle Royale.
Games that should have, it's near misses and second chances.
Near misses. So yeah, games
is
that
the
we
offer.
played and they just fell short of what we expected from them, or they need a sequel to truly shine.
Indeed. So,
And since that was the third in the series,
Yeah.
it's kind of glum at that point.
okay, so I'm going to choose something different. I
Please.
had something else entirely, but since you brought up Killzone and like how the series kind of went off the rails,
Yeah.
I'm going to take the other major shooter franchise from Sony's history and talk about Resistance.
Oh, yes.
Because I was a big fan of Resistance Fall of Man. And it was one of the few games that ran really well on the original PlayStation at launch.
Yeah, because it was for that. They built it from the ground up
Right.
on the PS3.
Yeah, the cell processor was hard for third parties to program for, and even for some of the first parties to program for. But Resistance Fall of Man was a solid shooter from day one. After that, Resistance 2 came out, and it was everything that Resistance 1 was, but way better.
Yeah, exactly. They found their footing in the first game,
Right.
and then the second one was just like, holy fuck, where did this come from?
Exactly.
It's amazing.
So just before Insomniac kind of branched out and started doing, was it Sunset Overdrive? They did Resistance 3, which really feels like a misstep for the series.
Yeah, so it was their Killzone 3.
Yeah, kind of. You could play the whole game in co-op, which was kind of neat, but the plot was kind of meandering, and you don't really have the same cohesive storyline like you had in the first two, right? The main character, Nathan Hale, he had been infected by this. I don't even remember the name.
was the
of
Chimera.
The Chimera virus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had like the yellow eyes, and he had regenerative abilities. And by the end of the first game, he was basically taken over, essentially.
Yeah.
And like spoilers for anyone who hasn't played Resistance 2 yet. But
Might want to get on that. It's
right.
only, fucking 10 or 12 years old
Yeah.
now or something?
So the plot of the second game, I think you're a completely different guy, and you're chasing after Nathan Hale, and in the end, you kill him. Like, you shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
And he dies. And I thought a great way for Resistance 3 would have been like he survives, and he's like
Because
he's
of
now
his,
your,
like, regenerative
Right.
powers or something like that.
and he's now the antagonist, and but in 3, it's like you and in your cameraman brother, who is like your third party camera,
Yeah.
and he just disappears for all the cinematics, but magically reappears immediately afterwards. So the joke was he's holding the camera during the cinematics. But the plot, they have kind of touch upon the storyline. They have this giant Godzilla-like city-destroying monster that you fight, which is neat technically, but it's like Uncharted 3. It was a string of set pieces with not enough connective tissue. Unlike the storyline in the second one was cohesive, like the Resistance, you're pushing back the Chimera, you're trying to hit these hubs. And the third one was just you're wandering all over the place, and then Chimera are fighting each other, and they don't really go into why, or there was like queens from different hives that they touch upon, but
So it's
never
like
come back
it was like
to.
somebody didn't read the storyline, and they were like,
Right.
"Oh, okay, monsters, World War guns, go!"
Right.
Like,
And that
just
was
kind of threw it
basically
all together.
It just felt like if say, for example, the people who did Homefront came in and made a Resistance game.
Oh,
Yeah,
that'd be
their
terrible.
heart, Insomniac's heart was definitely not in it, and it was their last one they did as an exclusive Sony title.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, aside from them coming back to Ratchet and Clank, but before they went off and did Fuse. Sorry, I'm missing Overstrike, so I miss Overstrike.
Everyone does.
Fuse was terrible. We should do that on Why Would You Play That?
Well, didn't you buy it?
I didn't.
I thought you did. I thought it was
No.
literally sitting over there waiting to be unearthed.
We can do that co-op, too.
Oh yeah, that's why I was like, I'm sure he bought the game because it's
No,
a
I
co-op shit game that we can play.
I'm gonna make a note of that. But yeah, no, that's terrible. No, so yeah, Resistance 3 was just a big misstep. After the first two were really solid, and even the PSP one, I think they had one for...
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot they had a PSP one, actually.
Actually, I think they did one for Vita as well. I could be wrong about that.
So they actually have 5 games in total, then.
They definitely did one for PSP. I don't recall if they did one for Vita. I never played that one. If there was, but yeah. But anyway, so
Shayna's Reunion would like to remind you that we have not finished Call of Juarez yet, so stop making promises you can't keep.
as soon as we start getting Why Would You Play That back on the regular schedule, we
Yes.
will go and finish off what can only be like 700 hours of Call of Juarez.
Yes, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel,
Is
so
there?
yes.
Is it the hole in my head after I shoot myself?
I've been informed that we will get to switch back to days at some point.
Okay.
And when that happens, my sanity should return, and we can continue on with our other shows.
Yay?
Yes, yay. You get to play more shit games.
Oh, great. Oh, great.
Hey, man, remember, you're only in the barrel half the time.
That's true. But let me tell you, this one feels like it's a lot
And no,
longer.
Steve, no, there is no Rambo DLC. It does not exist. It never existed. You're crazy.
We'll do that during the 12-hour stream.
Oh,
We'll do it,
God.
We'll do it co-op with the Wii controller.
And
the,
all it'll be is Jack sitting on the couch, slamming whiskey, and playing with the Move controller
my
for
God.
12 hours straight, trying to beat one level.
that goddamn level on and that was just on easy. That was ridiculous.
Yep, that game is beyond broken.
Fuck Rambo.
So Resistance 3.
Resistance
I never
3.
personally played it, so I don't know how
Yeah.
bad it is, but obviously it wasn't great because you never hear anything about that one.
It's not bad. I mean, but it was
plays,
so
does it
lackluster.
plays like a competent shooter then?
Mechanically, it was okay.
Okay.
And I went through it co-op, I think, twice. I think I may have actually played it with Steve as well.
Okay.
Or at least some of the levels. But
See, that was the part for me in Killzone 3
Right.
is that they took that pedigree of 2 and
Yeah.
put it into 3, so the control was still there,
Yeah.
the level design was still more or less there, and it was still like fun to play. It just fell short on a
Yeah.
lot of the aspects.
it felt very phoned in.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it was
Very by the numbers, like
Right.
AVP or whatever. Like, oh, you can walk, you can shoot, you can jump.
Right.
There's levels to play through, but that's all the check boxes, and that's
yeah.
it.
Whereas Resistance 1 and 2 really felt like more of a you felt this apocalyptic event unravel.
Yeah.
And the mystery of this character and what's going on.
Well, you have
with
the
him.
background set pieces that are
Right.
going
Oh,
off, and you
huge
really
set
feel like
pieces.
you're in it.
Yeah. Whereas then in the third one, it leaned more heavily on spectacle than it did on crafting a cohesive.
Oh, so went a little more Call of Duty, where it was just like they
Yeah.
took the control away and
Right.
threw this big set piece at you, and then went back, and you're just in a corridor again.
Yeah, so you fight this giant Godzilla-sized thing, and it's basically just Ramirez, shoot that building. It's like, it was so like uninspired compared to the first two. So I really wish that eventually either Insomniac would do a fourth one, or again they would farm that out to another studio.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Because obviously it's a Sony IP, but
Oh, maybe kill. Yes, I would love a Helldivers 2.
Helldivers 2 would be
I would
amazing.
be so fucking on board with
yes, especially if they had one where you wouldn't get crushed by your fucking dropship all the time.
that. That was half the challenge, man. Wasn't getting shot by your teammates.
Or where the drops would actually drop on the spot that it indicated.
Yes, not
And
like
not,
in
like-
the general area.
6 feet to the right.
I guarantee that was a test, like a bug in testing, and they left it in because they're
You never know.
assholes.
You never know. But the joke was that there was a guy, some gunnery sergeant up there, who hated the fuck out of me. I slept with his wife or something. Because like every time I'd call in a drop, and it'd be like 20 feet away, and it would drop like behind me or just on me.
Yes, for Super Earth.
For
I don't know
great
about you,
justice.
but I think some of those aliens need more democracy.
Oh my god, it was great. I loved that series. All right, so that's our show for this week, folks. If you like what we do here, please tell your friends and fellow gamers about Digital Fiasco. You can reach out to us and give us your feedback on Twitter at digital_fiasco, or you can check out our website at digitalfiasco.wtf. I still love that domain.
It's good. I didn't even know
Fantastic.
it existed until you found it. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a thing.
I don't think when we eventually get the .com, I'm just going to point it at the WTF. It's just going to be...
Might as well, yeah. Just redirect.
Yeah, screw those guys in Mesa, Arizona, or wherever the fuck they are. In any case, we'd love to hear from you, even if you think that Fortnite doesn't make enough money. All
You're
right.
wrong.
Indeed. So tomorrow, Al Bell and Kelly will be back for Comic Sans. I think they're up to episode 40 now or something.
Oh, shit. They're
ahead of
rocking
us.
it.
Yeah. Problem is Mondays is with all the holidays, we get screwed.
That's true.
Yeah, we would, film it in advance, but, we're probably too drunk generally. But Kelly and Albert will be back tomorrow. I'm sure they'll be talking about all the latest comic stuff that came out. There was one big comic thing that they just announced that I wanted to really discuss with them.
I know there's a Baby Metal comic, but I don't think that was big news.
I do not think that would be the thing, no. And Albel will he has 2 pun passes this week.
Oh, shit.
I know.
Is that because he wasn't here last week, so he saved him up?
I honestly think it was someone took... Oh, it was something about a vampire show.
Yeah.
And I think Tron beat him to the pun. Is like, don't you know what's at stake? And he was waiting for it.
Yeah.
And then for the rest of the show, he's like, he didn't want to waste it.
Yeah.
So he actually has 2 pun passes.
Oh, shit. Okay, so stay tuned tomorrow for that.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Try to preempt his puns this week too. Punterception.
I guess that's how they're buying him pun passes, by
Yes.
saving him from punning.
Kind of. In a way, that's like it.
Oh, actually, JT Nuka does bring a good factor, though,
Oh.
about the Baby Metal comic, is
Yes.
that somebody from Manitoba, I don't know if he's directly from Winnipeg or not, but he had his hands in almost all the aspects of that graphic
Really?
novel, so I thought that was really fucking cool. From the cover art to the writing, all that stuff.
What's the name of the company?
I'm
you know?
not 100% sure. I don't know if JT Nuka can quickly look that up, but
I bet you $5 that Kelly might actually know them. Maybe
I wouldn't be surprised, because Kelly knows a lot of the comic book guys in Manitoba, so
send him out to interview him, I think.
that would be really awesome.
Yep. All right. So Wednesday, Thursday, up in the air, random streaming. Maybe I keep saying I'm going to start Persona 5. I haven't gotten back into it. It's
And you're still going to finish it before Albel.
yeah, I know. But it's No Man's Sky's fault. It's honestly, it's the Siren song, and no
Yeah.
one wants to see me scan minerals for an hour.
Join Jack on Thursday
Right.
for 2 hours of scanning minerals.
Scanning minerals and crafting,
Just play some smooth jazz in the background and be like, scanning minerals with Jack McBastard.
well, it'd be right up there, like watching paint dry,
Yeah.
mineral scanning.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, folks. That's our show for tonight. Tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time for Comic Sans. Kelly and Al will be back. We'll see you then. Till then, I'm Jack McBastard.
And I'm Dandr0id.
We are Digital Fiasco. Have a good night.
See ya.